And they're off. Hello, Sharky.
Hey, Cass.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Welcome to Kursed Kart Racers. This is the show in which we play the kart racer games. And there's a few of them, as it turns out.
Just a few.
Gonna take some time, gonna take multiple episodes to get through what I would like to present here, which is a incomplete history, but a history nonetheless of the humble kart racer. So this first episode will be getting into some of the origins. Obviously, as you can tell from this setup we have behind us, this is a genre inspired, arguably kicked off by Mario Kart, or Super Mario Kart more specifically, on the Super Nintendo. But there were a couple kart racer games before Super Mario Kart, and there were many afterwards that we will be sifting through. Maybe there's a few diamonds in the rough. Maybe there's a few particularly rough chunks of coal to be mined from this. Either way, we're gonna play a bunch of them here, whichever ones look interesting to us. And that's gonna be the format. Going in that chronological order that we love to do. Before we get into the games and the history and all that, though, I feel compelled to ask, what is your familiarity, Sharky, with kart racers?
I played a lot of Mario Kart growing up.
Which one?
Okay. My first one was Mario Kart 64. Never had a Super Nintendo. Then I played a lot of Double Dash, rented that from Blockbuster a bunch of times. I played a absolute ton of Mario Kart 7 on, I think it was 7, on the DS. No. Mario Kart DS was on the DS.
Yes, I was gonna say.
I had to think about that for a second. No, I played a lot of Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart DS on the DS. There was a friend of mine in college who would organize us all playing together, and he would swear up and down that him being Rob and using Rob's car was totally not an advantage. No, it's just like the same as every car. It's like, it's not the best card in the game, it's the best card in the game.
Yeah, and playing as Oddjob doesn't confer any advantages either in GoldenEye 007. Or so I will tell people.
Yeah. Never had the Wii game. Played a lot of Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS. There it is. And once I got into Mario Kart 8 and 8 Plus on the Wii U and the Switch, I realized, oh, I fucking hate this game. At least I hated what it became. Past that, in terms of other kart racers, I never really played them. I played a touch of Crash Team Racing, a little bit. But that's kind of it. I've always stuck with Mario Kart. I've never really gone into these also-rans.
Well, this series will be perfect to educate you on the history of the kart racer, to play some of those spin-offs, rip-offs, so on and so forth. For my part, I think my first Mario Kart was also Mario Kart 64. I had a Super Nintendo, but didn't have Mario Kart back then. I've since played it, obviously. And I've played a number of other kart racing games. I've written about a few, namely some of those Crash Kart, the 3D ones, the ones that have 3D in the name, which means they're less 3D than the ones that are on actual consoles.
Yeah, those.
It's a whole other story. Nitro Kart, that's the word I'm looking for. Let's just say that I've played some pretty dire ones that will absolutely be showing up in time here. I think the other day, what really got me thinking about kart racers again, and what really motivated me to produce this whole segment, which I put all this stuff together last night, as far as the graphics here are concerned. Hey, look, I can do all sorts of cool stuff. Hey, you wanna go a million miles per hour on this screen?
What do you mean?
I mean this. Oh, we're speeding up. Things are speeding up. Like, how fast can this go?
Oh, I see.
Is this as fast as it goes? Oh,
that's 200cc. No, that's 150cc. The DLC for 200cc isn't out yet.
All things in due time. But all that being said, I don't care about kart racers personally. I don't care to play them for fun. I've certainly played enough of them. Mario Kart 64 and Double Dash, especially being the party games that they were, and having gone to a number of parties where parties involved played said games. But I've always contended that the bullshit outweighs the fun in a lot of Mario Karts.
Speaking of the bullshit, you were talking about the impetus for this stream.
Oh yeah, Eminem's Kart Racer, or Eminem's Kart Racing for the Wii, which celebrated an anniversary just a couple days ago, so I had to play a little bit of that to capture the animated GIF and video for it and post it to the social medias for the Bad Game birthday. You know the drill there. And that just got me thinking again about like kart racers. Yeah, we should probably showcase some of them sooner rather than later. But Eminem's Kart Racing will not show up on this segment for a while. We're going to do this sort of by era, as defined, as set by the release of Mario Kart games. So this one will not get into the true 3D era of kart racers as started by Mario Kart 64. But again, we'll get into that when we get into that. Right now, there's something I want to get into more than the games, and that is Charky's Stream Snack. That's your cue.
Yep, I know. I was grabbing the snack real quick. Because tonight's stream snack is TGI Fridays jalapeno poppers.
I had Fridays yesterday because there's only one left in my town and where I live, and they burnt the glaze on my chicken sandwich, and I was like, that's about right.
Well, I did not burn these jalapeno poppers.
I hope not.
Now for the drink. I went to the store today to get, stream snacks and stuff. Couldn't find any drinks I haven't had yet. But remember, I had the blue slush Alani Nu in our last episode, and I thought, you know what? For the next few episodes, why don't I go through all of the Alani Nu slush flavors, and I can rank them based on taste. So last time was blue slush. That'll be our baseline. Tonight is pink slush, which is a strawberry flavor. So let's open that up. That taste. I'm looking at the color of this. It is not pink, but that's good. That's good.
Better than blue?
Better than blue. Better than blue. It does have that syrupy flavor that they're going for with with a slush. But yeah, I mean, I've always been a huge fan of strawberry, so I think this is better than the blue. Very good, yeah. So this one right now, ranked number 1. Blue slush, ranked number 2. So come back on Tuesday's show to see what the next one is. And that'll be the stream snack for today.
Very good. I'm going to do something dangerous here. It didn't go so hot last time.
Not the Red Bull, please.
I have another can of Red Bull here.
Christ. Folks, hold on tight. If the stream goes down,
if we have another blue screen,
tight.
I'm sorry, but I had to do it to it. This is just a standard Red Bull in the 8.4 fluid ounces. For those who didn't watch our last stream, the Like on Game Extravaganza, I tried to chug one of these. I got to buy one, get one from the gas station on these. And then we blue screened just as I was starting to drink my drink. So that's why we're worried about this one. But I've taken necessary safety precautions, so this should be okay. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, fuck it.
Stream's still alive.
All right.
How to treat you the second time?
Well, we didn't crash. We'll be crashing cars in just a minute, but I'm expecting also to have a touring crash in a little bit, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Onto the main stage, where we're gonna get into the games and we're going to show the box arts and the flyers and so forth, and get into some history when the games are significant enough, when they warrant a bit of an extra exploration. But for our first game tonight in this series, it is 1988's Power Drift, a arcade title by Sega. This is the first racing game, as far as I can tell, as far as I can vet, to feature karts as the primary vehicle. I'm going to switch to the North American ad flyer for it here, which is far less eye-catching, doesn't have fun graphics on it, but it does describe the functions of the cabinet, which, as you can see, is shaped sort of like a cart or vehicle of some sort, and would tilt in the same way that a hang-on cabinet would, I believe, so that as you turn in the game and as you hit turns, the cabinet tilts with it. As you can also see from some of the gameplay screenshots on here, the track itself, the game itself, the screen tilts. So without the tilting synchronicity with the cabinet, this may be slightly disorienting. Anything funny in this ad copy? The high-performance vehicle designed to keep you on the road to riches. Obviously, these flyers existed for arcade operators to promote to them directly. The first thing you notice when you climb aboard Power Drift are the brilliant, oversized 3D graphics. What you don't notice are your knuckles turning white as you struggle to maintain control through hairpin corners, steep climbs, and roller coaster-like drop-offs. And then some technical info, etc., etc., etc. Thing about this first game we're going to play tonight, single player only. So only I will have to suffer this one. You get to consume your stream snack, take a bit of a breather while I powerfully drift.
Now, I believe that this game was included on the Sega 3D Classics collection on 3DS that M2 worked on. So
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, so you could play this with like a 3D effect.
We're gonna have to hear the volume in a minute here. That's a cool little title screen. Cool little logo. This is definitely a visually impressive game in its time. This is probably gonna be alright, I would assume. Some of the scaling is nauseating in the way that the scalar graphic games tend to be. That dude looked like he just drove through the gaps in the logs. Hopefully that won't happen to us. Roll call. All right. Oh, I'm absolutely going to have to adjust the volume on this. Let's go with the
It's an arcade game. It's loud.
This should do us for now. What random dude did it pick for me?
Baldy.
I was a little late getting out the gates. Oh, this is barely controllable. This is obviously a fault of mapping steering wheel to analog stick. I'm just gonna have to be a bit more careful, a bit more considered with how much I'm turning the analog stick here. So obviously not the ideal way to play this. Neither would the 3DS be, I would imagine, but people may do. Banging soundtrack.
I would have to try it for myself to see, but it's possible it uses the gyro in the 3DS to steer. It's possible.
This is fine. We lost. We lost bad. We've already been lapped, apparently, at some point. Ooh, that's not good.
I mean, Sega was good at arcade games.
Tough start. I'm going to try a different course, different track. Game over, yeah. Queue up the next coin. Let's try the B course. And maybe if look, I'm not controlling the driver select. That thing is just scrolling, so depending on when you hit the button to start, that's how the racer is selected, apparently. I can think of better systems for that.
And Super Scalar was a fucking look, wasn't it?
certainly was. I know people still cling on to Outrun as a as one of the all-time great racing games.
It's fun. Outrun 2006 is real fun.
Ooh, this is bad. Not bad in the sense that this is like terrible, but the way I'm playing is not ideal.
Okay, so I am booting up 3D Classic Collection right now just to see what the controls work, or how they work in this thing.
I will say that we are going to rank these games also in the tradition of our long-standing, long-term programs. And I guess we got to qualify or quantify, is this a kart racer? Beyond the fact that we are racing karts, it does not have many of the trademarks that we would know. It's a very traditional racing game.
I would say for the purpose of how we're defining things, that this is not a kart racer. But this is a proto kart racer for, you know, before Mario Kart really kind of set the gold standard of what that was.
Hold on, I want to see if I can actually select the driver by...
Hey, the controls on the 3DS is certainly a choice. It's touch controls. So to accelerate, I just have to have my stylus on the bottom screen. In fact, if I have it on the top of the screen, then I'm in high gear, and if I'm at the bottom, then I'm braking into low gear. And then left and right is the steer. Surely there's a sane way to play this game. Let me check the input settings. Control type 1, control type 2.
Yeah, this is tough. This is a tough game, even with the wheel. I just can't imagine this being easy. You gotta get top 3. I could cheat this. I could just do like the horrible, like, you know, rewind and just keep trying so I hit every turn perfect, but also don't need to necessarily stick with this game for too long.
Okay. I set it to control with buttons. So I will see how that is, how you've been doing this.
This is probably going to do it for Power Drift.
That's more uncontrollable. With okay, maybe this doesn't work unless you have a steering wheel.
Yeah, that's the impression that I am getting. For a first game to feature karts as the primary vehicles, it is certainly the first racing game to feature karts as the centerpiece vehicles. We can say that much about it, and not much else more. I don't think this will go in the rankings, to be honest, but it is a curio. Absolutely, and it is an important historical starting point for us, as is this next game, which is Go-Kart Simulator for the Commodore 64. This one is a 1989 release. Developer is credited as Kevin Franklin, so a one-man project by the looks of it, published by Zeppelin Games.
No, it's like a Judas Priest situation. Kevin Franklin's just the name of the group.
The pseudonym, yes, I see. Yeah. Commodore 64. I don't think this is going to be full 3D. In fact, I think it might be a top-down racer, if it even is a racing game, if it's even a kart racing game.
I mean, it could be like Football Manager, right? You could just be like running behind the scenes.
Could very well be. We could just be managing a team of professional kart racers. Oh, Bob and here with a fun fact. Zeppelin Games, publisher, would eventually become Eutechnics, creators of fine games like 007 Racing and Ride to Hell Retribution, and some other games in between, I'm sure. So, auspicious beginnings for this particular developer.
Crazy Hack. Here it is, folks. The final Crazy Hack for 2014.
2014? It took them that long to crack this game open?
You're still getting Cracktro streams in 2014, too?
I mean, hell yeah, we are. God bless them for still doing Oh, sorry, I could watch this all day long. This might just be the rest of the stream.
Sit tune.
All right, we should probably...
I wanted to see if there are any cheers and jeers.
Oh, well. You can get the crack for yourself, folks. Make sure you own the game first legally.
Yeah.
Please do not upload this to csdb.dk, by the way, just before we cut that right off of the pass before anyone gets any crazy ideas. There's a bunch of cheat commands here. The aim of the game is to make your way safely around the maze. Oh, fuck off. Avoiding all other carts and completing the collecting the objects to help you complete the level. Use your smoke screen to temporarily disable an enemy cart that is chasing you. There's a radar.
Now you see, in Europe, they call tracks a maze. So it's just a regional thing.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those dialect sort of things.
Yeah.
Let me make sure, by the way, that this is scaled properly. You know, these games have a liability, the tendency to have big, obtrusive borders around the screen. So this should be as close to the resolution as we're going to get on it.
Are you going?
Yeah, I am now.
So it's Rally X.
It's Rally X. It's Rally X.
It's Rally X, but far less legible.
And with far less screen real estate to work with.
And color.
There are pickups. That makes it more like a kart racer than Power Drift before it.
But it is Rally X.
Yes. This is the birth of Eutechnics, apparently. This is the progenitor of so many games to come.
Aren't they the company that, like, puts on a lot of commercials for pills on Fox News late at night?
I don't think that's the case. I think you might be getting some wires crossed there. So I have an issue with the title of this game, Go-Kart Simulator. This ain't much of a go-kart simulator.
I was supposed to say, how many of those words you have an issue with out of the 3?
You know, I've gone go-karting in the real world. It's fun.
Same. Mm-hmm.
I cannot recall a go-kart track that was ever shaped like this, that had you deploying smoke screens, that had such sharp turns.
Maybe this is go-karts in the future. Right?
Ooh, yeah, the future of the sport.
Go-karting.
There is professional go-kart racing,
yes.
And there are some professional go-kart racers who will have licensed games that we will play later on in this series. Oh my god, the turns are so fucking bad, because it's not just like straight track, like, you know, Pac-Man, where every aisle is specifically sized to you. If you turn too soon, you can...
Or in that case, who cares? In that one case where you just went straight through shit.
The lack of in-game music. Well.
Lack of seeing things. I know there's a radar, but...
But then you're doing the thing where you're playing the game by looking at the top right corner of the screen, as opposed to the actual game screen itself. Come on, chase me, chase me. There we go. Sterile. That's the word I would use to describe this game.
Which is weird, considering that this game looks like it could give you tetanus.
We're considering that it took until 2014 to crack this thing open, apparently.
Yeah. Real good copy protection on it, I'm sure.
Oh my god, it's not recognizing my keyboard? Do I have to actually... Come on, don't make me have to scroll through letters on a keyboard. Commodore 64. That's gonna do it for Go-Kart Simulator. We don't need to spend too much time on some of these early ones. But before we close out of it, does this qualify as a kart racing game according to our criteria?
Does Rally X qualify as a kart racing game?
This game does have pickups.
Rally X has pickups.
It has items you can use on your opponents.
Yeah, you can lay down, like, oil slicks in Rally X.
I'm going to say this does not count as a kart racer.
Yeah, this doesn't count.
Despite being a kart simulator, this is not for our purposes, gonna make the list. Because if it did, this would be pretty fucking low on it.
Listen, what we need is we need to play something that'll like actually give us like a baseline on how to judge what is a kart racer.
If only we had a game like that. If only we had something that could serve as that baseline. Oh, hey, it's Super Mario Kart. Released 1992 by Nintendo, where racing becomes an adventure. All right, this is obviously the big one. This is the real starting point for the kart racer genre, the subgenre as we know it. And it's a important game for a multitude of reasons, some of which we'll get into here. I have a little bit of history on this, on the development, just some insights that I found interesting. Most of them are gleaned from This Iwata Asks, which is circa April 2008. It was conducted to promote the release of Mario Kart Wii. And this was obviously the series where Satoru Iwata would interview developers at Nintendo, get some oral histories on some of their most legendary franchises. So, great read. It was a great series. It was a great idea Nintendo had there. And they are lesser for not having that man in charge and someone on site to conduct these sorts of interviews.
Well, to be fair, it's not their fault that they don't have him
fair point.
in charge.
You know what I'm getting at, though. You know what I mean. I'm also going to give credit as we switch to this next slide here. This photo. I took this from a Shmupulations article covering translating and scanning from the Super Mario Kart, I almost said instruction manual, strategy guide released in Japan, which contained sit-down interviews with members of the team. So this is a candid photo of the Super Mario Kart team. Development on this game was headed by Tadashi Sugiyama, who was the graphic artist on Ice Climbers and Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic. Don't say anything. As well as working on its localization for North America. Don't say anything. It was also the director of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. These are his credits before Super Mario Kart. These are the credits I'm going to give are credits before Super Mario Kart. It's what got them in the door, what established them within the company before working on Super Mario Kart. It was also co-directed by Hideki Kono, who was also a director on Doki Doki Panic, as well as the SNES version of SimCity. And he also got some level design credits on Super Mario World. There was Masato Kimura, who was the lead programmer on F-Zero, who reprised the role as lead programmer on this game using a lot of the same techniques. There is composer Soyo Oka, who previously composed games for Nintendo such as Pilot Wings and Ice Hockey. And, of course, the game was directed by one Shigeru Miyamoto, seen in the top right of this picture here. The intended goal for this game, when they set out to develop another racer for the SNES, was to produce a racing game capable of displaying two players on the same game screen simultaneously. In stark contrast to F-Zero, which had been a launch title for the SNES in both Japan and North America, so 1990, 1991 respectively. And people forget, that game was exclusively single player. You needed to wait for F-Zero 64 or F-Zero X, whatever the N64 F-Zero was, to have multiplayer in an F-Zero game. And then there was that modern game, that F-Zero 99 or whatever it is, one that uses the SNES-esque graphics, that uses those sprites but facilitates 100-player multiplayer. But the original F-Zero, though, single-player affair. And so this was the game that became Super Mario Kart was made to remedy that, recognizing that racing games are probably a bit more fun when you have the option to include a second player. The use of Mode 7 texture mapping for its ability to scale and rotate texture files in real time as a way of facilitating the racing gameplay was not an innovation in and of itself, with F-Zero having obviously beaten them to the punch on that, but Super Mario Kart was the first to effectively pair it with simultaneous multiplayer gameplay. To quote Hideki Kono, "We had decided from the start that there would be races, but we thought that would be good if the game served as a communication tool in which one-on-one battles were possible via some other kind of gameplay rather than simply competing for rank, and someone had the idea of popping each other's balloons." That's obviously discussing the battle mode, which is included in this game in addition to the standard racing mode. The game did not start off as a Mario-branded game. The first prototype featured a more generic kart racer character design, Hideki Kono again says, well, in the very first prototype, there was just a guy in overalls sitting in the carts. The team didn't decide to incorporate Mario characters until a few months into development. The choice was made after the development team decided to see what it would look like with Mario in the cart, and things kind of snowballed from there. To quote Shigeru Miyamoto, at first, no racing was involved. It was just two carts moving around freely, obviously discussing the prototyping phase of the game. Then we noticed that it looked neat if you stopped one car and looked at the other car flying by. We decided to see what it would look like with Mario in one of the carts, and everyone thought that it looked even better. Who knows, maybe the designer who drew the overalls on the earlier guy intended that it be changed to Mario all along. The game is eventually finished, released August 27th, 1992 in Japan, September 1st, 1992 in North America, selling 8.76 million copies worldwide. The game went on to be the best-selling SNES game of all time. It has been ranked among the greatest video games of all time by several magazines and organizations. Citation needed. The game is historically seen as having been key not only to kicking off the kart racing subgenre, but to expanding the Mario series into non-platforming games. Because this was one of the first Mario spin-off games, which would bring us the likes eventually of a Mario Party and Mario Tennis and Mario Dance Dance Revolution and so on and so forth. So more than just credit to being the first two-player kart racing game, a lot of legacy tied up in this one. Now, is the game any good?
Now, by the way, if anyone's interested in like more on that, I highly recommend a video from Gaming Historian on the history of the making of Super Mario Kart. I thought it was a very interesting video. I seem to remember a tidbit in there about the trials and tribulations of trying to get permission to actually go to a go-kart thing to just see like, hey, how does a go-kart feel when you drive it?
Yes, I think this was also mentioned to Shmupulation's translation. So from the Japanese strategy guide for the game, I think touches on that as well. So if there's a more interesting story attached there, if there's a comedic story attached to that, absolutely check out that video. But this is Super Mario Kart. You may recognize this background and title screen. And
yes, maybe they stole it from us.
Yeah, these bastards at Nintendo. I swear to God, I'm just going to do a single-player race at first, just to show what that looks like. Then we'll get into some multiplayer. Got some Mario Kart GP in time trial mode. We'll just do some GP. Only 50 and 100cc in this first game. Because what more do you need, really? I'll do 50cc. Why don't I?
Yeah, take it slow. All right, who we got? Who we got?
Mario, Peach, Bowser, Koopa, Toad, Donkey Kong Jr., Yoshi, and Luigi.
Yoshi with his tongue stuck to
permanently out.
Yeah,
I like Peach. She has a little wink at the camera. That's cute.
Well, okay, Yoshi there reminds me of this story that I remember on Something Awful, where some guy was posting about how he yawned too hard and he got his jaw locked open, and he was asking the goons like, what the fuck do I do? And then like everyone was just giving him bad advice, and he eventually just typed in like, okay, fuck all y'all, I'm gonna go to like the campus doctor. And someone pointed out how fucking funny it must be to see some guy sitting at a keyboard angrily typing fuck all you guys with his mouth wide open and then walking across campus mouth wide open with like a furrow on his face going like, oh fucking goddamn goons.
So Mario Kart. Fucking primitive.
Gotta start somewhere.
If I press select, it changes to a rear view, for whatever that's worth, using that bottom screen.
So I do want to point out, I mean, first of all, we can talk like mechanics. You got your drift, which is like your bread and butter in your kart racing games. You got your coins, where if you get up to 10 of them, you get a speed boost. You see that a lot in other kart racing games as well.
How do I trigger that speed boost?
I don't know if this first one has the drift boost that the later games have. It might. But it might just... I think it might just be a drift in this game. And yeah, as Sai points out, the coin speed is a passive thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, is that what you're asking about the coins? How do you get the coins to get you faster? No, the coins just make you faster the more you have. I
Yeah,
think up
that
to 10.
parses. Shit. I'll take a second. So things drawn into the tile map, into the texture, the coins appearing as flats, the lack of protruding walls to delineate like where like the edges of the track are, or what like is collidable with. Issues that we've seen in some of the 3D GBA games we've played as well.
Now, I wanted to bring it up though. I wanted to bring that up and compare it because compared to those GBA games, especially compared to like, go look at Simpsons Road. What was it? Road Rage.
Yes.
Go look at that. Come back and look at Mario Kart and the SNES. It is so much more readable here. Like, yeah, it has that issue, that Mode 7 issue of everything is flat, nothing, like, walls don't protrude up, items don't protrude up. But
it is definitely way more readable, yes, with the benefit of screen real estate.
They do so much more with, like, art design and carefully crafting things that it's doable here. It is actually readable as opposed to, like, the fucking mess that Simpsons Road Rage was.
I'm sure folk will also accuse me of being a scrub for saying this, but the handling in this, and maybe it's just the fact that I picked Peach, I don't know how the stats spread for different racers in this game, since they're not displayed on screen or anything. Handling in this is fucking rough.
I don't remember if Peach is a lightweight or a midweight.
Probably light. Because every time I take a turn, it's just drifting, just trying to take a turn sharply. So I really do need to do the jump drifts and do them nice and early, too, to have any chance of staying on the track, as it were.
I'll say more things that this game establishes, as that we'll see that going to define the kart genre, is we have the items that you've been collecting.
Yes, that's obviously a pretty big one.
We have the idea of a rival racer, because Bowser will always be either first place or second place.
At least in this run, in this circuit, in this playthrough.
In this one,
yes.
And that ends up happening in a lot of these kart games, where they'll like pick a rival for you or pick a spread, and it won't deviate from that. And speaking of that sort of behavior, another, I would say, huge part of kart racers is bullshit rubber banding.
Yes. But the second you get ahead, you're not.
Yes. Like, the computer has a max speed that is greater than yours, and it depends on how far ahead you are.
Precisely. That's enough of the single player. You get the idea. Let's get into some multiplayer. Let's do a race and then a battle to show this off. Why don't we? How do I back out?
Magic Mouse says, to be fair, rubber banding isn't exclusive to kart racers. Most arcade racers have a degree of it.
Oh, you know what?
True.
Let's see this track. Let me finish this track at least.
I feel like kart racers tend to have an egregious amount of rubber banding in a lot of cases.
This is one of the first tracks that in the game that you can fall off of completely. It also has jumps, mandatory jumps in it, so playing with the form factor of the racing game track as we know it. Which is something you won't see in like your Gran Turismos or what have you, you know?
The cowards.
You can even do a little bit of platforming there. I'll attempt that on this if I remember to.
I think this and Bowser Castle are like my favorite maps on this game. You have enough speed to... Yeah, you do. Don't have enough speed for that.
Luckily, Lakitu will just drop me right here. And yeah, I think I... Fuck. Nope. I couldn't tell if there was a wall there or not. Because of the angle.
I think this might be the first game in which, like, Lakitu is in a support role. I'm pretty sure.
I'd believe that.
Like, you know, he would go on to be the cameraman in...
Why'd I try it again? Why did I think it would work that time? Fuck!
Yeah, you might need to be A, like, at max coin capacity, and B, a
different
character with a
character.
faster speed.
Shrunk everyone down for a second there. Oh my god, I accidentally jumped before I hit the... Give up.
Okay.
Alright,
Oh, you have lives in this one, too.
Yeah, 3 attempts to make it through the circuit. Alright. Let's make sure that second controller is handy, plugged in. Yes, yes. 2-player game. Let's do a match race.
Sure.
Is this okay? Yeah, good enough is.
Alright. I'll take Bowser.
You'll take Bowser. I'll take, Toad. It should give us free selection of the tracks, yes. Very good. Is there an unlockable cup in this game? I feel like there probably is.
Well, wait. Probably, because I don't see Rainbow Road in there, so there must be something else.
I don't have 100% save here, sorry. Want to go to the beach? Let's have a beach day.
We could do beach. Alright, what are the controls again?
Cross to accelerate. Nintendo B,
Okay.
if you will. Then circle, or A, to shoot items. R and or L to jump. And those strike me as all the essentials. Does this play like you remember it, if you ever played it before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I played this before. Like I said, I have some favorite tracks on here. I don't remember how to drift in this. It works differently than in
It's just jump.
later games.
It's just jump and then jump into a turn, basically.
It's okay. It's the same. It's just Bowser's a little weird about it.
And obviously the water slows us down here. Hazards, obstacles, impedances, different types of track, different texture to it.
Yeah, this isn't a good track for Bowser.
No. I suppose different stats, different spreads will have advantages and disadvantages on different terrains.
Because if I'm correct, I believe that Bowser has slow acceleration but fast top speed. And on this map, yeah, this is one where acceleration is going to be better.
Magic Meow's in chat saying, it's still easy to see why this was a huge game in its day, even if it's primitive and simple now. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a first of its kind in the sense that, yeah, let's change course. Let's do another track. Let's do another standard race. Did you want to change racer too, or?
Oh, wait. I'm going to keep my racer, but I want to go to Bowser Castle.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, the idea of racing game, but make it multiplayer, is novel in and of itself for this time. Now, are these walls on the sides? No, mercifully. I mean, yes, mercifully, they are walls rather than pits that you can fall into. Because I'm not good. In case that wasn't obvious from the gameplay being seen in the top quadrant of the screen right now. Yeah, I mean, I think just the fact that this has multiplayer in it is such a big deal, because F-Zero, for being the more technically impressive in the sense of just like the speed that's on display, they talk about in one of those interviews having to deliberately slow the game down to accommodate, you know, the fact that it is two simultaneous views at the same time, which is, you know, more technically impressive in the fact that it's managing to pull this off. The split screen view, but F-Zero is just like blistering fast in a way that this game is not. So, you know, it's a matter of preference, though, I would say. There's some folk who F-Zero is too fast for, to the point of sickness.
He's so slow to So something else I want to point out is that in this game, items do not respawn.
Yeah, you pick a block
So,
once and it is gone.
So like in the last one, we actually ran out of items. I don't remember what the feather does.
Makes you jump really high.
Yep, that's it. Not really useful on this one.
It'd be good for like crossing that bridge in the previous, and that the Boo Castle, whatever the track I was eating shit on was.
Yeah, I'm definitely handy. Yep, I was definitely handicapping myself by being Bowser.
Well, we got your favorite track in at the very least.
Yeah.
You played it as the owner of the castle, so you have control over the menu.
Mode.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'll pick.
Let's pick some of the forgotten Mario Karters, like
Mario.
Donkey Kong Jr.
No one fucking plays Mario. Okay, I'll pick Koopa. I'll look at his eyes. Whoa.
Adorable.
Whoa.
Battle course 1, 2.
You
have to select them to
select
see.
It. 3.
Up in the sky.
4. Which is head on.
Let's do head on.
Alright.
Apply directly to the cartridge. There's our balloons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pop them. How do you reverse in this game?
Is it hold brake? Up.
Stole your star.
Yep.
Now these blocks have to respawn, right? After a set period of time?
I mean, surely.
By the way, for folk who don't know what Head-On is, it was actually a game that Sega made, and then Nintendo distributed back in the day, or was it the other way around? And this track is directly referential to that. Yes. And then Nintendo helped distribute it in the arcades. So before they were rivals, before they were lovers.
Okay.
Without a radar in the center of the screen like Mario Kart 64 has, it is a little difficult. I just have to screen peek straight up if I want to.
That is basically the strat.
Oh! Get out of there.
So what I thought was back up was not back up.
I don't know if you can back up in this. I think it might just be tough luck, Buster Brown.
I'm trying to figure out where you are again. I see green quadrants.
It's very hard to, like, look at the horizon and spot... Oh, I think maybe? No, that's the green shell. It's hard to tell when the resolution is this low and the scaling is, what it is for the time. But again, you know, early in the life of... And in the history of split-screen gaming.
God. I'm not sure if the things are respawning.
That would be horrible if so. Oh, great, a feather. This is really going to help my ass out. Let me jump over the wall, whatever that's worth.
Yeah, it made you waste it. I mean, that means I had to waste my thing, too. Oh, cool. This.
Oh, I think I see ya.
I feel like the only thing that really works here in this specific map is to, like, get a green shell, throw it out, and just wait. Because they're never going away.
Finally!
Yeah. I got stuck in this thing. I couldn't turn.
Yeah, I want to say the battle modes in later Mario Karts are a bit more fun and dynamic than this is. Oh, I hit myself
you
there.
Hit yourself.
Fuck the green shells. That's my hot Mario take.
Oh.
Fuck.
Okay.
So, there was a line I read where people claim this is one of the greatest games of all time. They still hold this up as they got it right the first time. I don't know if I can agree with that statement.
I mean, there have been a lot of games that have come out since this. Time has marched forward.
And I would say, like, even for the time, even for the era in which it was released, like, I'm sure it was fun. I'm sure people got enjoyment out of it, especially the multiplayer. Oh, well.
I guess we... Oh, you got hit by a thing. Okay. Let's say we played the best of one.
Yeah, I think that's fine for Super Mario Kart. But before we close out of it, I'll let it linger on this screen so you can revel in your win. I just see this getting really old really quick. I just see the lack of real variance in the tracks, just based on technical limitation. The fact they're all flat. The fact that this battle mode takes so long to actually come into contact with one another.
You're a kid in the early 90s, though. Like, this is kind of peak back then.
I'd have gotten bored of it. I'd have just switched genres up. I'd just been like, well, you know, I have this racing game. It's fun for a few laps. It's fun for a few tracks, but...
Potentially. I mean, you have to imagine, like, back then, the added prospect of being able to play multiplayer, like, adds a lot.
Sure. And yeah, I see people in the chat, like, Zorn was right, saying our entire neighborhood played this game for months when it came out. And that's fair. You know, that's completely fair. I think I'm just saying from my perspective, more than anything, that I would, even as a kid, probably burn out this pretty quick.
Also, I can't regret... Oh,
I'll
do it.
Yep, we closed out of Super Mario Kart. But that will be our standard bear. That's obviously the best we've played so far tonight.
Yes. The first qualifying one we played so far tonight.
Yes. Which will bring us to our next game, and this is where we start to get into the rip-off territory. And one of the first games to rip off Mario Kart also has a fascinating story of its own and is quite a bad game. Welcome to Skunny Kart. This is a 1993 release brought to us by Copysoft, which is a very apropos name. Copysoft's mascot character was a character by the name of Skunny the Squirrel. And at a point in time, he was the star of platformer titles and in a very few other genres touched upon. But this kart racer game, which is obviously made to rip off Mario Kart, but wasn't really made by Copysoft, so to speak. Skunny Kart was developed on the Wacky Wheels engine, a different game that we'll get to later, which Andrew Edwardson, who was previously programmer of 1992's Phylox and became the lead designer on Wacky Wheels, his only 2 credits in the industry, as far as I can tell. So he was shopping around his game, which at the time was known as Wacky Kart. He had created a demo for it and sent it to various publishers, to various labels, looking for distribution on it and to get some money to help finish development on it. There was a problem, though. He included the full C++ source code of the game in progress on his demo disc. So when he sent it to Copysoft, what did Copysoft go and do? They copied it. They stole the source code wholesale and put their own characters in it and released their game before the actual game it is ripping off was finished and released. Incidentally, that Wacky Kart goes on to become Wacky Wheels, as mentioned. Apogee Software become the publishers of that. And that comes out the next year. That comes out in 1994. So, some months between these two games. So I don't know if there's other instances of that happening in the history of video games. I would love to know about them if so. Of a game's release being preempted by a ripoff written using the same code base as the final product that comes out eventually. Very strange scenario there to even try to describe. But we're going to play Skunny Kart first, and maybe we'll play some Wacky Wheels for comparison shortly thereafter. This one's going to take a minute to set up. This runs on DOS, I'm gonna need to get Joy to Key open because the binding for this is all keyboard stuff. It's supposed to have support for 2 joysticks, but good luck getting fucking joysticks to work in DOSBox or any variants thereof. So I just bound your controller to the keyboard keys. That would be the ones you'd be using in the game.
I'm honestly a little surprised it has multiplayer.
Yeah, it's necessary. I think the thing that Mario Kart really did was show developers or show people looking to rip it off that yes, multiplayer is going to be a necessary component in this. Okay. If you have any problems with the joysticks or the USB, execute helpme.exe. Let me dial the volume in.
They should have had Proudly. Proudly presents.
There's Skunny. The worst named character in all video games, maybe.
I think that's something like Vinny Vinesauce says to describe certain aesthetics.
Game has a Skunny feel to it. Input delay on the main menu. Down. Down. We'll keep those on keyboard. Sound effects. Yep. VGA 7 resolution. We can switch to high res or low res. And then get stuck in a loop where it gets stuck.
Oh. Did you know this was going to happen?
It happens occasionally in this game. This game is held together by spaghetti code. So let's close out of that and relaunch it. Why don't we? One more time.
Bob Nader says, something else I remember about this game. Apparently the game's soundtrack was reused in a sci-fi RPG called Whale's Voyage. Apparently this title track is the game over theme of that game.
Here are
the controls. Does sound somber enough.
You'll notice that these controls, if you played on modern Windows, would lead to hell of issues. You're using the arrow keys to steer, right? And then there's Control and there's Alt. If you can hold down several of these keys together, you'd be Alt-tabbing in and out of the game, or otherwise rotating windows around, so... and you see all those numpad controls that are listed for you. Again, those ones are bound to buttons on your joypad. But also, this screen neglects to tell you what the... some of the commands are in the game, some of the controls are. Which is a bit of a fuck-up, isn't it? I'm gonna do a single-player race for, like, a second. We have 50 and 100cc.
Eventually, we'll find the 150cc. Someone's got it invented.
What continent, or country, do we go to here? Just lumping them together here.
Let's see. Where did this game come from?
Good question. Let's go America for now.
Okay.
America Cup Track 1.
The Arctic tundras of America.
Let's look at our racers. Potame.
Don't take this. Don't take this.
Ragi. Nakard. Gondra.
Go back to Nakard for a sec. Racken. No, okay.
Golfy. Skunny. Pussy. The octopus, obviously. And Handbag. What a selection. What a roster. I guess I'll play Skunny, who somehow has one of the least egregious names here. Nice and smooth, just the way I like it.
Ready? Okay.
Oh. And they're off.
Now, okay, stolen code, sure. I feel like given that it was DOS, they didn't have to do fake mode 7. They could have probably done walls, right?
In 93.
I mean, you can see other things on
those
the
are
screen
sprites
that protrude up. Yeah.
Those are right, so they can't rotate in the way that
the
walls would need to in this. Doesn't control great. I don't know if that much is obvious.
Doesn't sound great.
No. Doesn't play great in general. I think we're being lapped. It's also very hard to collect the pickups, which this game does have pickups. It needed to fucking hell have pickups in it. Alright, I'm holding down the target button, which also causes you to drift. So when you want to use an item, it also forces you to turn at the same time, because they multiple bound keys in this. There's also a bunch of stolen sound effects in this game, like sampled speech. So I gotta pick up.
I feel like those kids in that neighborhood that played Mario Kart for months, like, these were the nightmares they were having. Right?
It must be. It's certainly a nightmare to play. Bart Simpson. I'm hoping I can find some more.
I'm sort of in shock by this thing.
Not qualified.
Not qualified to operate a go-kart. Please return it at
They just
once.
want me to play the same track again. No,
Yes.
thank you.
Until you beat it.
Try a different one. I have to wait for that to go. I have to wait to get into the race to have control over the vehicle to get out of it.
I hope it puts you right back into the race again. No? Okay.
Right.
I shudder to think how this is going to handle two-player.
Let's try 100cc.
Alright, go to Japan.
Yeah, that's what Japan looks like.
Yeah.
I'll play Pussy.
Be slow. I hope that confers no benefits. It's just, you are slow.
Doesn't this look like Japan? You remember the famous cactuses in Japan?
Yeah. Did anyone care?
No. The answer to that question is... I think that was Bugs Bunny saying Hocus Pocus when we picked up the lamp. Which one of these triggers the Terminator? Because one of these does trigger a Terminator voice clip.
Your clothes, give them to me.
Shit. Couldn't see that hole coming. I'm gonna try... Maybe it's the frog.
It's something about, like, we selected Japan, and we're in, like, deserts in Arizona, and that's the part where I'm like, no one gave a shit. Keep passing up that invincibility.
Is that invincibility?
Yeah, the genie lamp.
That's the wrong way sound, by the way. Which is louder than anything else in the game. I'm thinking the invincibility might be the I'll be back. But I'm just gonna slow down, knowing that I've already lost this race.
Okay, there's your invincibility right there. Missed it.
Fuck. I thought that was the invincibility you were referring to.
No, I told you, it's the genie lamp.
Well, I'm stupid, okay? Don't mind me. Casey, I'm racing here. I'm moving so fast I can't hear you. Over the sound of my my high-octane engine.
A genie lamp. Again, you missed it.
It's hard. I was actually aiming for it that time.
Slowly. You already had something in your inventory. Alright. It's gonna be great.
Nope, that was just the Bugs Bunny saying Hocus Pocus.
We have to find the answer by ourselves.
Say something nice.
Well, if this weasel, bear, whatever's banging me on the head hits me enough times, maybe I'll forget I ever played this game. Something nice about this. If you were really hard up for a racing game on DOS, They certainly were one of the first to market. If you wanted a version of Mario Kart for your personal computer, this was an option.
They certainly knew how to take an opportunity and seize it. When the opportunity came, when they got the source code, they seized it by illegally, probably illegally, making their own shit.
Hey, guess what? We're gonna do a two-player game. Do you want 100cc or 50cc?
Let's go with 100. Alright, so I looked it up. They're a Belgian company. So I guess Germany or Europe.
Alright, let's do Germany first. Thank you, anonymous gift subber.
Thank you.
Skunny deserves the world. There's a whole bunch of other Skunny games. We have to do a Skunny night one of these nights.
Ooh.
Also, I'm going to let you know, the keys are very sticky in this. So don't hold them down too long, or you'll go through multiple menu options at once.
What do you have things bound to?
Ideally,
PlayStation buttons.
Cross should be accelerate, circle should be brake, square and/or triangle should be use item. It's tough to figure it out. I'm gonna play his handbag.
All right.
Now, try to control it.
Okay, very. All right. Well, I was gonna pick the card, but I feel like I should match fast with fast. My only option then is Skunny.
And naturally, you're on top, I'm on bottom.
Germany, right?
Yeah. The frozen tundras of Germany.
Looking a lot like America.
Boosted right into a wall, as I do. You hear that?
Yeah, we got it.
That's the shrink potion, which works like the lightning in Mario Kart. Because this game is nothing if not shameless as a ripoff. How's it drifting in this field if you can figure out how to hit the brake?
What drifting? I don't think I'm playing a video game.
Invincibility didn't save me from the hole.
I feel like you're doing the thing where you hand the little brother the controller and like say like, yeah, you're totally playing with me.
Oh, you're doing so good! It's just like not even plugged in, yeah.
It's either that or it feels like I'm playing the game by mail.
ProStricker92 in chat says Night Drive should rescue this.
Yeah.
Hey, you saw they stealth released. They put out the Thing remaster they had been hyping up. They just put it out without any announcement. I mean, they announced its release, but they didn't say.
Yeah. Oh, they did say they were working on it.
They said they were working on it and then just dropped it, which is cool. You qualified. I can't.
I don't know how. You immovable object. So, what does that mean for the future of this race?
I think it means we go to track 2. Am I just going to be excluded from this?
That's what I'm asking.
So funny if so. No such luck.
Okay. So this is a co-op game, really. As long as one of us qualifies, we move on.
I'd like to move on from
I don't know
this.
how it's deciding what place I'm in.
Scuzzy math in the Skunny game. This is a game speed 50%, by the way.
Really?
There's an option for 100%. It defaults to 50%. So it could run smoother, or it could run at this exact frame rate, but, you know, doubles the speed at which you move.
I'm betting it's the latter. Oh, break is the same as shoot.
Yes.
Item.
Mm-hmm. Except there's also a separate brake key.
Okay, so the only brake that I know is the one that shoots the item. The only brake that I found on this controller. Hey.
Ow. What's up, Doc? I don't think I'm winning this one.
Am I qualifying? Am I going to qualify? I qualified. Why am I okay at this game? Not good.
You're developing the knack. Where you can just get into a bad game and immediately master it. I'm losing my power, you're stealing it from me, you're draining it from me, slowly but surely over time. And I'm okay with that. I'm alright with that, personally. I don't want to play this fucking race anymore. But there is 2 things I want to do.
Uh-huh.
One of which is contingent on the game cooperating, which it might not. First of all, high resolution.
Alright. 100%. Alright.
And now let's go to the battle zone.
Okay.
2-player game. Super Mario Kart doesn't show you the tracks until you select them. This one, much the same. Let's try Battle Zone Track 1.
So this is the case where it is just the track, I guess.
Let's try Gondra.
Now I can play as Nicard. Said I can play as Nicard. There we go.
Had to find the right button for it first.
I was in Nintendo mode.
Balloons and everything. Shameless.
What? Oh! 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 Oh!
100% speed.
Oh! Okay. All right. I got the strategy.
We found 1000cc mode.
Yeah. This is what they always wanted in Mario Kart. This is what they've been asking for. They introduced 200 in like 8 Deluxe, and people are like, no, we need Skunny mode. We need to go at Skunny speeds.
I'm gonna mercy. Let's set it to 50. Let's set it back to 50%. Why don't we? We may have flown too close to the sun on that one. We're like Icarus up in here.
No,
right.
10%.
Battle 1, 2. Let's try Battle 2. I don't fucking know.
Okay, after this one, again, contingent on the game working, I want you to go back and see how low you can put it, because I saw it goes below 50.
I'm gonna pick the same character. You feel free to as well. Because I feel like we didn't really get to show Nicard in all his glory.
I like ducks. If I can be a duck in a game, then I will be a duck.
You must have loved Toontown Online.
Never played it. I don't know, that one passed me by. I always forget that even though I'm player 2, I am on the top of the screen.
They really like Looney Tunes, and I do too, I get it. Alright, so crashing into the frogs will cost you a balloon.
Alright.
Duly noted.
No backup.
Fuck.
No backup? Where are you? Yeah, good luck me trying to...
I bumped into you with a star on, and it didn't do anything.
Did you bump into me? I haven't seen you yet.
I think we head-on collisioned each other.
Win.
This is even more inscrutable than Super Mario Kart scaling. See, that's... I thought that was you.
Nope, not me. I've had this little bastard on me for this entire time.
That was me.
I saw you. I saw you. I win.
This is a nightmare.
The card wins by doing nothing. Okay. Go to the setup. Turn it all the way down. Down as it goes.
That'd be 20%.
All right, let's see how this works. Let's see how this plays. Not battle zone. Let's do a race. Let's do a... Well, maybe too late now. I don't know if you can actually...
It is too late.
Okay.
Because the escape key did not work. And continues to not work.
All right, well, let's go with this.
Go with Skunny. Go with someone fast. I'll go slow.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right.
Wait. Truth in advertising. This is slow.
Huh? I'm not touching buttons anymore.
Oh! Did I select the computer mode by accident? This might be computer. This might be me versus computer. But hey, we can abandon this.
Yeah. Well, we've seen slow is not as ridiculously slow as I was hoping it was going to be.
Yeah. Is that it for Skunny Kart?
Unless we want to try a race at 100% speed.
Yeah, I think I do. We'll keep it at 50cc to have a chance of being able to parse this. And let's go to Europe.
Okay, but I didn't want a chance to parse this.
I'll be Raggy. The giraffe.
Oh, you know I'm picking that fast Skunny.
Never say that, ever.
Oof, okay.
Alright. Hold on
strap
to your
in,
butts.
folks.
Ah!
Oh, yeah. Alright, okay. Get over there. In there. Alright. No, okay, wrong way. The wrong way guy is going to be very important for this race. Alright, I'm getting there.
This is what people thought the turbo button would do on their computer back in the day.
Alright, I'm on lap 3? Yes, alright.
You're doing way better than I am, because I keep crashing into walls every time I try to do a turn.
I see the computer doesn't have an issue with this.
I made it to lap 2.
Yeah, oh, okay. Oh, I picked up an item at some point. I should use that. Okay. Alright. Get over there.
I'm gonna meet you at the starting line.
Go on, over there. Ranked out.
I can't even get, like, in front of you because the acceleration moves. Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
That's gonna do it for Skunny Kart.
Skunny Kart.
Yeah, hot damn. Well, I think we know what the bottom looks like now. I'm so sorry, folks. I'm sorry you had to see that. I mean, I'm not sorry. That's what the Bad Game Hall of Fame is made for, isn't it? On the bigger and better things.
Yeah, let's look at a game that ripped this one off.
Yeah, get a load of this fucking ripoff artist, Wacky Wheels, a car racing game you'll hate to finish. That is not the killer tagline I think they thought it was.
A car racing game that you're gonna fucking hate by the time it's done.
You're gonna despise this shit. This shitty Skunny Kart ripoff. So this is obviously the game that was ripped off in the production of Skunny Kart that came out several months later, published by Apogee. Funny thing about that is that I actually have this on Steam. Which the Steam version of this game is just a wrapper on like a DOSBox instance. But it was convenient enough so that's what we're launching here. I think I need to switch the profile of Joy to Key because this game also had some egregious mapping. But
where's Skunny Kart's Steam release? Checkmate.
Come on, Copysoft, get on it. Launching Steam. You have to give me a second to get this configurated. Here we are, Wacky Wheels version 1.1. This is registered and upgraded. So I think someone was asking before the show in the Discord server, which, by the way, link to the Discord server here. Oh, I'm going to have to dial that volume in, too. That classic Apogee logo. If we were playing the expanded and enhanced, the full version of this game, and I'm happy to report that we are. Jesus wept. Hopefully this is approaching a listenable volume for us in our ears. I'm sure it's fine for the folk at home at this point. Okay. So Wacky Wheels. Look at this comprehensive menu here.
Mm-hmm.
We got single-player racing, two-player race, two-player shootout, Wacky Duck Shoot, combat play, which would be your network play, so you can get this network-enabled, game options, Wacky Wheels info, etc. You can select different elements to keep on. Graphic detail levels, we'll keep it at high. I think it'll run just fine.
Turn on RTX.
I'll do a single-player race to start with. Actually, you know what? Where are the controls here? Does Wacky Wheels info have it? No, it has the how to order screen, even though this is... Order Wacky Wheels for $24.95 plus shipping. Get all this!
How much did this cost on Steam?
I don't remember. I don't even remember when I picked this up. I was surprised to see I just had it in my library. Tiggy, Vroom, Growl, Blombo, Never Forgets. Ringo, the Rapid Rascal. Razor, Killer Wheels. Uno, Cute and Fast. Sultan, One Humper 2. Morris, All Reliable. And Peggles, Turbo Squawk. I guess I'll go with Uno, the panda. Oh, that's the screen where I actually would have been able to see my controls. I need to quickly back out, press F1, and it shows the controls I bound for myself, which is good. ZX breaks down, hand brake turn. Some more controls than Skunny here.
Bespoke fire weapon button.
Kid mode is an option here, which is nice of them. I'll just do
I
amateur.
assume that's like just easy.
Let's go fast. You can see the tracks in the circuits here. I'm just gonna do bronze wheels. Let's see what the first track someone would probably end up playing in this game would be. So you can see this is similar in many ways, as you would expect, but immediately more controllable, immediately more refined.
A lot slower, too.
That's for the best. I'm going to argue that's a positive.
Yeah.
Far more legible as well. This is actually approaching something that, you know, I could actually see a human being playing. That if all you had was DOS back in the day, you did not have a Super NES, but you were envious of your Super Mario Kart playing friends, this strikes me as a reasonable substitute.
Is that the only item left? That one that's off to the side? Oh, there's a little devil there, just like in the other game. What is this heartbeat sound?
Hell yeah. Good driving. Keep it up. Yep, classic. We got some water here. Let's see what the beach looks like.
I think the shark has an advantage here.
We'll soon see. So you pick up the hedgehogs on the track, and those give you just, you see that counter in the top corner?
Is that your coin equivalent?
Not quite. What it is, if you don't have another item in tow, you can throw the hedgehogs.
Oh, okay.
Like green shells, basically.
So they're like green shells that you can get a bunch of.
Yes. And then other items supersede it. So if you pick up like a boost or whatever, something else you can trigger on command, you have to use that up before you get back to your hedgehogs. If I'm understanding, if I'm parsing all this correctly. The hedgehogs are definitely the most useful, unless there's like a turbo, like a boost that you could... Probably this, right? Nope, that's a threefer.
See, I would have like taken those hedgehogs on the track to be like an obstacle or something.
Nope, you're actually meant to steer directly into them to pick them up. There's my handbrake button. So that's like a drift on command, like a super sharp turn. In case there's like 90-degree turns you need to make or something along those lines, I imagine. It has to be used very carefully.
While this is approaching better, I think it's still like extremely limited by the frame rate that it is running at.
Yeah, you could definitely say that. I'm sure, you know, if you had different computers would run this at different speeds, too. You know, depending on the CPU, depending on the cycles that your computer is capable of.
That your computer should be extremely capable.
Well, I only have DOSBox capped at a certain point. DOSBox, you know, you have to set the cycles manually within the application. Yeah, having this on Steam doesn't, like, make anything more intuitive. I still have to, like, fuck around with, like, setup.exes and do file directory stuff to customize the controls for this. So they could have stood to make some of that stuff more intuitive for this, I think they released this in 2014. The Steam version. I think I got the point. I think I get the idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. Leave race. Escape. Let's try a 2-player race, why don't we?
Alright.
Head-to-head or with all cars. I like the options here. The options are clear in what they are.
Let's do all cars.
And I can finally play as the panda like I want to.
That's not a panda noise.
Now, before you select... Actually, no, select your character, because I think the second I back out of this... Alright. You're going to do Peggles. These are the controls. They are all mapped. 1 through 6 are your giggle keys.
Yeah, that Bob mentioned that. You can use the function keys to use the devil to taunt your opponents.
There we go. I knew the second I went out of that menu, it was just going to select without you having a say in it. Let's go to the pro class. 6-lap, 8-lap, or 10-lap race.
Smallest.
Yes. Fast.
Bonus pack.
Bonus. Any of these jumping out to you? Any of these track ones?
Not really.
We'll go with this one,
like Bowser's Castle, almost. Whoa, okay.
And you are top screen again.
Just baked into the source code.
Oh boy!
What?
This is a lot harder to control all of a sudden. Oh, I think I know why. I think Joy to Key is doing that wonderful thing where you are controlling me.
Yeah, I think you were also controlling me to an extent.
This shouldn't be happening. Everything is bound completely separately. There are different keys on the keyboard.
Yeah. What? Why does Y do that?
Look at the devil ass on the screen.
Oh, you hitting the giggle key?
Yep. Having to giggle right now. Ah, this is unfortunate. This is gonna fuck up my plans.
Y will just make me turn immediately to my left. But only my left.
That's a sharp turn button.
But I can't make it do the other way. It'll only turn left that way. Oh, no, wait, no. I had to turn the other way all of a sudden.
Learn to drive, it says. Yeah, I really should, shouldn't I?
Hey, I think we're done with this one. If it doesn't work and it's going to keep making that noise. It's starting to grate on me.
Alright, stop pressing buttons. Oh, we want to save and quit that. We want to save our progress for later. Give me 1 second to look at Joy to Key. How did this happen?
I see how it happened.
Yeah, that shouldn't be the case. Let's go to shootout mode. Let me press F1. Yeah, so far so Trisha. I'm gonna clear all those button assignments on my end so that I am sequestered to controller. And then, yep, automatically selects a tiger for me. Select your character that you want to play as. Oh, fuck! I was gonna say select, but don't select. That's my bad. Doesn't matter, let's try it. Let's play for 5 hits.
Okay.
Alright, here's our choices. Whatever is the most straightforward.
Yeah, that would be 2. Zone 2, I think. Now I'm controlling both.
What the I fucking hate Joy to Key, by the way. Can I just say that Joy to Key can suck me?
Let me go fight. Let me go hunt myself. May the best me win. Alright, where am I? Oh, wait, there's got to be a strategy to getting myself. Okay, alright. Oh.
Did it not work, or?
Oh, no, okay. Yeah, I lost control for a sec. Alright, I just need to find me. I should be over here. Right? Okay, wait. There we go.
Has been waxed. Yeah, I just can't imagine. Hey, you know, if you're gonna put these games on Steam, right? You should probably make the controls fucking intuitive. You should probably, like, force it, just have, like, default mappings that just work. So I don't have to go through Joy to Key to try and, like, force this shit to work, and then have it not work.
And this is getting more results in terms of, like, a match actually happening than we had in Mario Kart.
Yeah, I guess so. In a sense of the word. Oh, whatever. I didn't want to spend too much time on this anyway.
Yeah.
That'll probably do it for Wacky Wheels. I don't know what the duck mode is, or duck shoot. And frankly, I don't care at this point if it's going to be this uncooperative with me.
Come on. Yeah.
Congratulations, you waxed the tiger one last time. Alright, that's going to do it for Wacky Wheels. We still have more games to get to, a lot more games to get to. So let's just get to them, why don't we?
What's next?
The next game on the list is, well, we mentioned Sega earlier, and them working together with Nintendo at a moment in time, then becoming rivals. So who is the rival to Mario? That's right, Alex Kidd. Nah, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. And so a Sonic racing game makes sense. You may know of Sonic R, but that's a little too late in the timeline for this first episode, so we'll be playing Sonic Drift.
I would also say not a kart racer, but okay.
Yeah, well, you know, it's the closest we're going to get by the measure of...
I mean, Sonic R is not a kart racer. This is a kart racer.
Well, Sonic R is more of a kart racer than this might be in terms of its mechanics. And remember, kart racers don't necessarily need to be karts. But this one is certainly karts. You see Sonic in a little cart here. This is a Game Gear title, released in 1994, exclusively in Japan, this first installment. This is a March 18th release, specifically. I'm going to play a single player at first, and then I do have a means of getting some multiplayer working in this.
All Joy to Key, and it's going to work great.
No, mercifully no. We don't have to deal with that shit for this. Alright. Let me get it launched. Tune that volume again. There we are. I think I mostly have this dialed in. Let's do that for safety. And let's get to racing. No. This is the demo. I want a race game. Oh, I turned my controller off. That's right. Try and save Wacky Wheels. You're going to see that pop up now. And wunderbar. We have the Chaos GP, we have Free Run, and we have... Let's see our options, why don't we? Yep. That all makes sense to me. Let's race. Green, yellow, or red? Guess I'll go with green. Our 4 characters: Sonic, Eggman, Amy, Tails. Gotta be Tails.
I know Sonic Drift 2 is the one they like to cart out a lot in the modern era.
They certainly do.
Did that one ever... I think... Let me check something. Let me get the 3DS back out as we do this. Oh, this is... I would call this a kart game. You got your coins to speed you up. You got items on the track. Maybe you don't store them and use them, but you got items on the track.
And we are driving carts.
We are driving carts. All right, do you think that the reason Sonic is in a cart and not running is to keep
level the
things
playing
fair?
field? Yeah, that
Yeah.
Sonic is a sportsman. That they are gentlemen on the track. They understand that not everyone can be as fast as them, but yeah, no, I would buy that.
We have
Oh,
to
look at
find the
him.
answer by ourselves.
See something nice? This game's got Tails in it. It can't be bad. And then here's Easy Losers.
Oh, I thought it said Amy got first place for a second.
Something nice mechanically about this, though, I think is really the spirit of the Say Something Nice. But we don't always follow the spirit of the Say Something Nice. For the Game Gear, this being the first portable kart racer, handheld kart racer, possibly. You know, it is one of these traditional type of racing games that you would see from the time, expect from the time, where it really is only realistically a third of the screen is dedicated to actual track. That sounds like a negative, but, you know, it's enough of the screen. They didn't compromise it to the extent that you can't read the track. For as small as this screen would be on an actual screen, they maximized the space as much as they could, given the technology at hand. So it is...
I will say, of the non-arcade games we've seen tonight, this might be one of, like, the smoothest looking.
Yes. Definitely, I would take this over a, what was that first one we played? Power Drift, honestly. This is not sickening with, like, it doesn't have the tilting effect. I think not having the tilting effect is a good thing. I get that it's meant to convey a sense of speed and turns and whatnot, but, sometimes straightforward is best. I may have bombed that race. Oh, laugh it up, Sonic, why don't you?
My
Boo.
car's the fastest thing alive. Your car's alive, Sonic? Yeah!
I'm gonna back out of this in a second.
You ever see Turbo Teen? Aren't you wondering where Knuckles went?
Okay, no way to stop the race. No way to back out to the menu. You know, I'll do one more, because I do have to change up emulators to get the link cable multiplayer working. Because there is multiplayer here. It would be facilitated by means of linking together 2 Game Gears, and I found an emulator capable of emulating that.
I never did link cable stuff with my Game Gear. I definitely did not know any other kids with a Game Gear.
Yeah, therein lied the problem. Therein lied the rub.
Actually, as an elementary school child, I really didn't know anyone else who played video games, period.
Really? That's weird to me.
Yeah. It wasn't until, like, middle school that I knew anyone who played, like Nintendo 64 and stuff like that.
I definitely knew the most about video games of anyone in my school during my schooling years, during my grade school years, middle school, high school, so on and so forth. But, I mean, I knew a lot of people who played games casually, so I could always just, like, use it as common ground, you know?
Oh, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I did go to the same school as my next door neighbor. So there was one kid, but, like, no one else.
How many tracks are in it? Labyrinth? Acknowledging Sonic Labyrinth, maybe. Maybe not.
No, there's Labyrinth Zone. This is
Yeah,
Labyrinth Zone
that's
from
what
Sonic
it is,
1.
isn't it? I almost want to win. I
recognize those
almost
blocks anywhere.
assume that if there's 4 tracks here, if I just win this one, these are short enough races. Might as well do it. If I stand a chance here. This could probably do with more items. They probably could have squozen in at least one more. Besides just the turbo and collecting rings. They probably could have had invincibility. Oh wait, you know what? The blue screen is invincibility, actually. I totally neglected that for a second. Red is boost. Oh, they could have a third one then. I don't know.
I think there is a third one. I think there's an orange one.
Shit, I just
There
can't.
was blue.
No, the spring.
Oh no, not
is...
orange is okay. Yeah, the spring. Yeah.
I think I just barely came in first. Yep,
Blink,
got
blink,
it.
Blink.
No, it's just gonna keep going in it. Nice looking tracks though. Good visual variety of the
I feel like
tracks
this is the
themselves
last one, but okay.
Is it? If it is, then let's do it. Yeah. I mean, we're going through them quick enough, right?
Yeah.
If this isn't the last one though, you and me will have words.
I'm pulling up the list. Oh no, this is not the last one. Scrap Rain comes after this.
And that's the last one. You know, we get the idea of this. We get the idea of Sonic Drift single player, which means that we're going to switch to the multiplayer, and I'm going to be using the emulator known as a Retro Copy for this. And it's going to look a little funky on screen when we get to it, but before that, I'm behind the scenes. I'm going to have you bind some Game Gear buttons. Can you give me an wait, hold on.
Well, I didn't do that.
Yeah, let me... God, this shit sucks. Let me turn my controller off. Be holding the up button. Just hold up on the D-pad.
Okay, I'm holding it. There we go.
Down.
Okay, wait, whoa, slow down.
I wish I could show this too, but I have a very special setup for this. Left.
Mouse 1 Stop.
Yeah, this emulator...
Turning my mouse off.
No, this emulator fucking sucks, by the way. I do want to say, I wasn't going to get into it immediately, but Retro Copy is a very shitty fucking emulator. You know what? I'm going to show this. I am going to show this. I am going to be mean and petty to this developer, to this emulator front end. It's doing the thing that Demol does, where if any motion, it doesn't know what a dead zone is. So I'm going to double-click this. Be holding down right on your controller.
No, wait, I was holding down... You were hovering over...
I'm hovering over right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, it thinks your controller won, so this isn't going to work at all. Is what I'm realizing here. Unless... Let me turn my controller back on. It's one of those ones where it's just like, it's so quick to decide, like, oh, you're doing this button? Okay, you're doing this analog stick? It's slightly like 1% out of the dead zone, so yeah, that means that you're...
If I were to hold nothing right now, it thinks, oh, that.
Yes.
If I hold up while you're doing that.
All right, so, start button
one. Wait.
You gotta be quicker.
You know how this works. You know how this thing works. You know that. Okay, do it. Okay, and then do it.
Okay, those should be your inputs sorted. Hopefully, it'll still recognize mine.
Well, you have to change yours up. There we go. Oh.
I think I hate video games now. I mean, I'm gonna bind it to the controller, to the keyboard. I'll just play on the keyboard for this.
All right.
And then I'm gonna show one more thing in this emulator. All right. Hopefully that'll get us where we need to go.
I was ready to plug in my controller that does not have analog sticks to make that easier.
Look at this.
Whoa.
Cool. You could totally put like different games in these. You could have your own game room in your emulator if you wanted to. You could develop your own little environment.
Oh,
this shit's
fucking eat your heart out, Tower Unite.
This shit is so extraneous and useless, and I would have thrown all this garbage out that no one would ever use in this 3D game room thing, and just focus on making a input screen that actually fucking works. Let's exit the room, and I will show. Nope, that's the game room.
Bigger, better.
Instant play. It has to convert all the ROM files to a proprietary format that works for it, a .game file. And then you have to enable the link, and then we can get into the game.
Okay.
I don't want to look at it this way.
I'm assuming I'm on the right.
I'm going to show it like
backup error.
Show it like this on screen, on stream, so that folk can maybe read it a little better. Okay. I should theoretically be top, you should be bottom. Just press any button.
Oh, okay.
Now, luckily, it does mute your end, so it's only going to be playing my audio, which is ideal for this. Are you in versus mode?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I think I'm controlling this. Let's do...
Can we choose drivers first? Because if we go into battle, it just goes straight into it. I have to wait for you to select yours.
Okay.
And then I will select Tails, as I'm contractually obligated to do.
Alright.
You can
I guess I'm still in control.
Yep.
Alright, so we did not see Starlight or Scrap Rain. Let's go to we saw what Starlight kind of looked like, so let's go to Scrap Rain. Green, red, yellow.
Okay,
green.
So the different emeralds determine the different track type. That's what the beginning is.
Okay.
So, okay.
Alright, let's go yellow. And then
you selected Starlight? Oh, you have to choose. You're making an entire circuit, basically. You're basically creating your own. We're only gonna do the first one, so just like do default for the rest of these. Maybe we do two. I don't know.
Did we do it again and again? Did I fuck something? Okay, wait a minute. Scrap Brain. Yellow.
Try pressing start.
Yeah, I'm trying pressing start. It's not doing anything. Scrap Brain. Yellow. Scrap Brain. What the fuck?
Can I control this? Can I steal? Can I arrest
you
control?
Try it. You try
We have to restart this fucking emulator to do that, I think. So don't touch anything.
Okay.
Do me a favor, don't touch a goddamn thing.
Right. There are not that many buttons.
Press one button for this. Press one button to get past that screen.
Not that many buttons on a Game Gear, so trust me when I say I tried all of them. Okay.
Right, when I go into versus mode, yes.
You go into driver.
No, I should be able to select Tails, and then you should be able to select Amy shortly thereafter. Then I should be in control of all the menus as the host.
Yes.
Course. Scrap Brain. Yellow. Okay, I see this popping up.
Feel free to try other buttons.
There.
Alright, I don't know, but sure.
And we're off. I'm Tails on top, you're Amy on the bottom. A cumbersome menu system, to say the least. And the gameplay is probably as you expect.
I feel like these kart games, I don't like it when a kart game, like, when you do a race and it's just like a one-on-one. I think it's more fun when there's more people on the track.
Yes.
I can understand for the Game Gear, though, maybe a limitation. Like, maybe something about having to process two actual humans at the same time makes that more difficult.
Potentially.
Because I notice there's no pickups either. Except for the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're playing For Honor mode.
Which seems like it'd be very boring past a certain point. If both of you are competent and both of you know the tracks, then it really doesn't matter who gets out the gate faster. Yeah, this is very dry without the power-ups.
Yeah.
Without the other racers.
Maybe this doesn't work as well as a multiplayer game. At least this one.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're going to look at Sonic Drift 2.
We might. I hear it is improved. I hear it has some new features and stuff.
Yes, and we are the improved game Hall of Fame, as it were.
That's gonna do it.
I think that's it for that. That one is pretty dry.
Yeah, let us exit out of that. We'll move on to bigger and better things. What was the name of that application again?
I don't remember.
Retro copy.
Sure.
Garbage. Not to belittle the people who worked on it, but they did a bad job and should feel bad. Next game tonight. Let's get it queued up. The next game tonight is going to be BC Racers for the Sega CD. This is a 1994 release, developed by Core Design and published by Time Warner Interactive. This is the Sega CD version. This is the launch version, premiere version of this game, but there are also versions of it for MS-DOS and the Sega 32X. I would like to check out the 32X version a little later on, because they have different multiplayer modes between different versions of the game. This is the third installment in the Chuck Rock franchise. It is not labeled as such. It is not evident from looking at it, but that is a fact, in fact. So let's get into it, why don't we? Launcher up. I think it's going to default to thinking it's a Game Gear, so I have to do some behind-the-scenes stuff real quick. No, it's actually should be working as intended, which is not common for these streams. Change the audio levels again.
You really want to be associated with this, Sonic?
I don't think he has a choice in the matter.
Contractually obligated.
And it crashed.
No, he heard me. He was like, "You're right. So fuck this."
Try this again. Come on, pull through. Let's see core options here, why don't we? System. Let's set that to auto, why don't we? System region, system boot mode. Or, yeah, maybe I just had something incorrectly set here. Inputs. And let's also check the controls, make sure that... Yeah, that should be good. Let's restart it. And it might take one more relaunch after setting that auto flag. Let's make sure the overrides are saved. I love doing this stuff live on stream. I know it makes for really great viewing.
Listen, if you want BC Racers, you gotta work for it.
Like, I know the BIOS are configured correctly because it's launching into, like, the Sega CD thing here, right?
Yeah, unless you have the wrong region. Is the Sega CD a region-locked system?
It crashed again. What is going on here? I'm gonna look at the Q file here. Yes, all those should match up. Worst case scenario, we'll move to the 32X version, but there's something really interesting about the Sega CD version. Like, there's a reason I wanted to play this version of the game, if it would be so fucking kind as to let me. System region, NTSCU.
It knows what show it's on.
System boot ROM. Let's keep it on. CD RAM. Sure, I don't know what any of these settings mean necessarily, but... Save game options. Restart. I tested the 32X version. I guess I didn't test this version sufficiently. And then just close it and reopen it one more time, just for good measure, just to say we fucking tried. Fuck's sake. I guess we're not playing the Sega CD version. We're going to move on to the 32X version in a second. The interesting thing about the Sega CD version is that the multiplayer in it is fucking Double Dash. in 1994 that they couldn't do the split screen multiplayer for it. You couldn't have two people racing simultaneously. So instead, because each car has two people in it, as we'll see in the 32X version. You know, let's just look at the 32X version launched, why don't we? Get a start on it.
Ooh. Nicer Sega logo, to be honest.
The music in this version is way worse, by the way, is another thing. This is a 1995 release, so this came out afterwards.
You know what? I would have honestly thought the music in the Sega CD version would have been worse. Like if they had all that CD space and they didn't know how to use it responsibly.
Alright, that should be decent volume. This version is going to have traditional split-screen multiplayer in it, so when we get to that, we will just be racing against one another. But yeah, interesting that like you have a sidecar, basically. Each of the cars here. You'll see the racer selection in a minute. We'll just keep it on default here. Let's go through them. They're not named here. I'm sure they're named in the manual, and they're also named like when you get into the actual race itself. I'm going to choose these lovely ladies. So second player will control the second person in the car, be able to do their attack, throw items, I guess. And I think they also handle like turbo and steering, whereas player one would just have like acceleration, maybe some amount of turning. But since I'm just playing one player mode right now, I control everything, including the sidecar attack.
You know what the running theme tonight so far has been, in all honesty? Good sounds.
Again, slightly better on Sega CD. I'm just holding down the B button here. This is playable.
More than can be said of other games that we played tonight.
Came in fifth.
You tried, and that's all that matters.
Granite and Tina are the names of our characters. Video Game King in chat says, this looks considerably better than the Sega CD version. It runs at a decent frame rate. Sega CD runs at like 7. Really wish I could have gotten that version running for comparison's sake, but can't always get what you want here on the Bad Game Hall of Fame.
Really do.
Oh, look, we have a little flashlight projected in front of us for this darkened, dreary track. Cool attempts at ambiance here, for whatever that may be worth.
Got some headlamp action going on.
I crashed into an onlooker. That's a fun little feature. Still very primitive, pardon the pun.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Naturally.
Oh, I hate that. I hate accidentally going behind the elements and then having to circumnavigate my way around them.
This is the music?
Yabba dabba doo.
What was that musician, that band or whatever, that made a song that interpolated the Woody Woodpecker laugh?
It was in the latest episode of Train Records, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the same group that did Tarzan Boy.
I don't remember the name of the artiste. I guess that's the symptom of being a one-hit wonder, is that no one remembers your name. They just remember your song, your one song.
Baltimora, thank you, chat.
The attacking seems fucking worthless, at least for these characters. I don't know if other characters have better attacks, maybe. I'm assuming not. I can only get to come out the one direction, by the way. It only goes to the right. Not that it matters at all, because you're either way ahead or way behind. And I know there's not, like, engines per se in these vehicles, but there has to be some sort of sound for... some low hum or low sound of footsteps.
I mean, I noticed that she's not even pedaling. Like, at least the legs should be moving, right? If you're going this Flintstones route.
Spartan? Yeah.
I mean, convincing lead here. Oh, actually, never mind. Well, yeah, I would call it a convincing lead. Oh, wait, did one guy get totally taken out of the race? Because
looks like
there's like just a burnt husk on the
They may have
field.
blown their engine out at the beginning. If that's a mechanic or feature in this game. Jimmy and Bob did not finish.
Duke Nukem forever.
We're climbing up the ranks. Ooh, this is an appropriately prehistoric stage here. Well, I'm not going to win this race.
No. It was a good try.
Wait, maybe. Just maybe. Oh, we have some jumps. We have some verticality here. That's good that we played up to this this track to see that. Oh, we could do a little bumper car there. Got us ahead. And it's not going to save us, though.
Sick air.
The lack of items. We have the attacks, which I guess is... You know, their version of it. They're delineating things that you just always have that thing on you, and by thing I mean screaming.
Oh, your health is almost gone. And and you pass up the opportunity to get more health. Yep, wrecked.
I didn't even recognize that health was a feature in this until... I guess I should have gathered that from the...
Yeah, the dinosaur turning into a skeleton.
Well, that's alright, because I don't necessarily need to continue in the single-player mode. Let us get to some split screen.
Oh.
Poor
She's
ladies.
sad that she doesn't have a stomach.
Options. Two-player... HTH. I wonder if that's the co-op mode. Let's try that first.
Head to head is probably not co-op mode.
We're assuming it's head-to-head. Could be happily together, helping, for all we know. Player one.
That looks like a 2. That also looks like a 2. Just saying.
Yeah, bad font treatment.
Alright. Yeah.
The King. Elvis impersonators existed even before Elvis did.
You remember there was that Viva Rock Vegas Flintstones movie too?
We're getting to that. We're getting to the kart racers based on that.
I'm saying the movie. You don't have to spoil it.
Oh, well. Oh, shit. Well. Whoops.
I found attack. Is that it, really?
Yep. It's just... yours attack is to the right, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess all your attacks are just to the right. If you're passing by people, you can...
Is there a break? A drift? Anything?
I don't think so. I've been tapping the C button equivalent, but I don't think it really changes anything.
Yeah, I've been trying that.
Oh, holding down is your brake.
Oh, okay.
And it makes for very sharp turns if you're holding down as well.
And hey, I'm actually on the bottom screen again.
Novel concept.
I win. Yeah. You somehow blew up. How'd you do that?
Whoa! That was loud.
Excuse you.
Alright, so I wonder if going to two-player mode will mean that there's other people on the track. Also knows that we didn't have any, like, selection of, Is there any way to... What if I did start in all the buttons at the same time? No. I think I just have to restart the console if I wanna.
Alright.
remembered my settings.
So 2-player and 2 players. What a weird delineation.
Let's try race difficulty medium. Maybe that means we get different tracks.
All right, player 1.
Where's Chuck Rock here?
I think he's right there.
With his son. Chuck
Yep,
plus
Chuck
Junior.
and Junior.
Oh, we get stats here.
What'd you hit to get that?
The A button.
Ah, okay.
Alright, so accelerate. And I'll take the game's word for it.
All right. Who are these two? Jimmy and Bob. Okay. We did that. We did them. We did
I did them, yep.
them. Did not do them. Cliff and Roxy.
Now, hopefully this has everyone else on the track as well. Yep.
I think so. Got some repeats there. Oh, what a pathetic little attack. So what's the difference between 2-player and 2 players?
Were those 2 separate options?
Yeah, there was 2-player and 2
I'm
players.
hoping that one of them is the one
S.
that's like the double dash mode. Is what I was hoping to see from one of these.
Well, you selected 2 players, plural.
I guess we'll have to go back one more time then and...
That's why I was saying, what is this? Because, like, what is that delineation?
Bad menu. Bad menu is a running theme in these games, across all these games. Bad menus have been a persistent issue. Except for Wacky Wheels, that had decent menus. It just had other issues that made it unplayable in the multiplayer capacity. That's more on modern technology than it is on the technology of the day, I would have to hope and assume and give the benefit of the doubt for.
You're gonna die. I'm also gonna die. Alright. Get the meat.
I mean, we're all gonna die eventually, especially these cavemen. I mean, they died like 65 million years ago. No, that's way too early. When did cavemen kick around? They weren't kicking around the same time as dinosaurs. I know that. Before anyone jumps on me, that was just a...
Compared to the dinosaurs, they weren't around that long ago.
Let's restart just to... Ooh, didn't like that. Didn't like that one bit. Close content and then reopen it. There we go. Now let's see what that 2-player... Not 2 players.
So 2-player, 2 players.
Charky.
Oh wait, 1 player. That's a 1.
For fuck's sake.
It looks like a fucking 2. Come on.
You're not wrong, but I really would have thought this game would have had as an option, the existing 2-player mode from the Sega CD version, the different capacity, or where you're playing cooperatively, like Double Dash would do.
Yeah.
A decade later. But we're not going to be able to see that because that's locked to the Sega CD version, which refuses to cooperate. So I think that's going to do it for BC Racers. Which means we can move on to the next game tonight. We are starting to close in on some of the last games of the night. So I timed it pretty well, actually, tonight, surprisingly. This one's going to require Joy to key, though.
Oh.
So we'll see if it doesn't go and fuck everything up when the time comes. Hopefully not. I think this one is a bit more clear in its bindings and its controls, because the next game we have tonight is not BC Racers. Hold on, SuperKarts. This is a 1994 release for the MS-DOS. Or is it? No, 95. I'm sorry, I misspoke. This is developed by Manic Media Productions and published by Virgin Interactive. And I see a Williams credit on the screen as well, and a GT Interactive, so I'm wondering, maybe just publishing in different regions. That's more likely than not the case. But yeah, let's get this one booted up and see how it is. This one is going to be more traditional karts as well again, like actual karts. But we'll see if it also has items in it. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I played enough of it just to be able to bind stuff as needed, but I couldn't tell you much about the gameplay until we get into it. I know it has a squeakquel called Manic Karts. Couldn't tell you about that either. What is going on here? Why is it doing... Oh, there it is. Okay. So I thought we had another technical issue there, but it resolved itself, mercifully. Let's do... It had network mode in it, too. So it said online multiplayer. Probably like peer-to-peer. Probably you had to connect directly to an IP address. But it also has local split screen. Hell yeah. Oonta, oonta, oonta.
SuperKarts.
I might need to stretch this one to 4x3. Yeah, this looks a bit more betterer for the stream. We gotta see this play out. We gotta see what they're cooking here in terms of their CG.
Listen, I got a strike at this bowling alley. I'm gonna watch this whole fucking thing. This is some fucking PS1 core music.
I mean, it's sick.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think I finally have the volume dialed in. Look at his tiny hands! Adorable. This is the power of CD technology. Like to see Super Mario Kart do this.
I wanna be far away. Yeah, I'm expecting an alien to show up and like make like the guy in first place transcend into a new dimension
Of sight and sound and kart racing.
There's a toaster for some reason.
Good compression there. It's really the best game of the night.
Next game.
The intro is yet to be.
Yeah, I forgot we have to rate these things.
Virgin. Oh, look at a little guy. Options. Graphics. Frame rate. You can go all the way from 8 frames per second up to 60 frames per second.
60. Ooh, okay.
Let's leave it at auto. Tilt to control, like in Power Drift. I'm just going to keep it at the default setting. We'll deal with that as needed. Switch between horizontal or vertical split screen. Cool sampled audio on this track.
All right. If you turn off atmosphere, we all choke.
I'm afraid to go into the keys and unbind the things I have for your controller, so I'm just going to
leave it as is.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I remember my controls well enough for my end, for my player position. Go-karting, arcade mode, player 1 versus computer. Level medium, race laps. Defaults to 4, we'll keep it at 4. Let's do arcade mode. Or... Oh, I see, this is selecting the game mode.
Right, and then go-karting means just go. These are options, alright.
So quick play, I guess. Let's look at these people. Kevin Moore. Charlie Smith, Klaus Krugel, Aki Sun, Katie Clark, Louise Sanchez, Mustafa G, Ivan Zoomski. Stereotypes. Gotta love them. Or not, you know. And we're gonna race in Los Angeles. Set in the shadows of the Hollywood Hills. The LA 1 circuit is one of the widest, easiest, most laid-back tracks of the series. So laid-back, that's actually on the beach. Uh-oh. Oh, you know what? Did I bind this to controller? At some point?
Did you? Did you bind it to my controller? Yes. No.
You try it. You try pressing buttons and doing stuff.
No. You try
Okay, the
pressing buttons.
space bar is activating a turbo. Oh, and I found detail mode.
Yeah. Guys, wait up. Guys, which pedal is go? Guys?
Guys, this is horribly unfair. There's a tennis ball in my... Can't do anything here. Huh? I'm getting like a little bit of forward... The A button, or A key, is...
Maybe we figure this one out.
It's always something. I think that one's on me, though, in fairness. Keys. Redefine keys. I'll give myself keyboard. Z, X, left, right, reverse is back. Select, shift, activate, space. Now we need to redefine them for two-player mode. Z, X, left, right, back, shift. Same damn keys. Now I'm going to tell you what you should press here for this, if things work correctly.
Okay.
Press... Well, first of all, try pressing left on your D-pad. Good. Press right. No, yeah, good. Wait, no, these aren't right. Ah, well, this is fine. I'm just gonna... Don't press anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna not confirm that. Alright, try pressing cross. Circle. Left, right.
Then...
Backwards. Then I have these bound to the other face buttons, so like square, triangle. Yeah.
Okay.
And that should hopefully just work now.
Alright.
And that'll be handy for later. I'm still going to do a single-player race real quick, just to show what that looks like. Player 1 versus player 2. Yeah, okay.
Oh, you haven't played one versus comp?
Yeah, I'm doing player 1 versus comp for starters. I want to see the full screen first.
Okay.
And then we will get into two-player, which will be split screen. And hopefully this just works. There we go.
There we go.
You can see that tilting effect.
Oh, yeah.
Tap brake to drift a little bit. Are people asking about the goblin in chat right now?
Yes, people are asking what is with the goblin.
That was the Manic Media mascot, as I'm to understand it. Got myself a turbo. So we have a variety of items. I get multiple charges out of this one turbo.
But this is like a cross between Power Drift and a kart racer, as we know it.
Yes.
Oh, and possibly a shortcut. I don't even know if that was...
It slowed me
Or
down, so it
not.
was rough terrain. So maybe if you had invincibility or were boosting
Or
all the way
boost,
through
yeah.
it, it'd be a more effective shortcut. This is perfectly playable.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's a little weird sometimes when you get real close to stuff. It almost seems like a fisheye effect, like the tilt is doing something it's not meant to be doing, but...
You know, all things are a matter of perspective, aren't they? In this case, perspective correction, or perspective correction, as it relates to a 3D game, a pseudo 3D game. It is a little tricky to catch up, but I guess you don't want it to be too easy. Alright, shift selects the different power-ups I've collected. We have oil slicks. I don't know what S is. Oh, damn it. Well, hardly gonna qualify now. Hopefully it lets me go on to the next track anyway.
Race over. Thought it crashed the game. Like, no, you're not worth it. Goodbye.
Oh! Upgrades.
Upgrades. I can see where this game's made.
Super grip.
There's a Y. There's a Y where it doesn't belong.
Oh, and the word tire? Yeah, there we are. Save. Oh, this is the save.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're in Great Britain. Watch out for the hairpin.
Watch out for the hairpin! Bob says, wait, you can buy points in the leaderboard? You can just straight up bribe people to win?
That would be awesome if that's what that actually amounts to. Ooh. Yeah, I really had to take the turn a little sharper. Oh!
Too sharp there.
Maybe if I had super grip. I'd be telling a different story here. I'm also missing all the cool power-ups.
No, Snowy Aria had a thread on Blue Sky recently where she asked, like, what translation of a game would make you, like, irrationally angry? Like, you see a game get translated, and you'd be like, why do they translate this before something else, right? And I couldn't think of... I had one answer I wanted to give, and I couldn't think of an actual good example, but I could do it with this one. I would like a translation of SuperKarts into American English. So just remove the Y from tires and put an I in there.
I've been lapped. It's a lost cause. And that's on me, because I didn't take... They signpost the sharp turns well enough. I just didn't heed. I'm sure if I were to restart this particular race... Now, what does bother me is getting stuck on stuff and the amount of time it takes the game to correct you. I mean, granted, you can just hit reverse to... Why is my car, like... My card is suddenly, like, barely working.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking at your meter. Oh, well, it looks like your car's fucked up. Looking at the thing that shows like a barren husk of a car that you're sitting in.
That might do it, wouldn't it? Even with turbo, this is as fast as I can go.
Can you pit? Is that an option?
It must be. Maybe what we thought were shortcuts were pit lanes.
Can you get out and push?
I just get out and walk at this point. Shit.
You're almost out of fuel, too. I feel that's weird for, like, such an arcadey thing like this to have... Oh, wait, were you playing in full season mode?
Oh, second half of season. Let's try it like this. Because maybe this will get us to some new courses as we go into the multiplayer
but I'm like,
mode.
I wonder if arcade mode doesn't have oil and fuel and damage considerations.
Perhaps. I will choose Ivan Zoomski.
You know, in the original Japanese version, Ivan Zoomski was known as Ivan Amphetaminsky.
Do you have any control over this menu?
I do not have control over this menu. Do you have control over this menu?
I have control over this menu. Who do you want to be?
Give me Klaus Krugel.
We're back in Los Angeles, but it should be a different track. SuperKarts, not Super Boats.
SuperKarts, not Super Boats.
That's coming soon. That's the next game in the... Please just work.
Yep, I think so. I don't think I'm controlling you, so...
Yep, we're good. We can enjoy it as we should. Narrow fucking track here. Functional.
So, is activate for turbo then?
Yes, but so you basically you have to switch between the 3 different types of power-ups. T is turbo, you have oil slicks, and you have super grip for making super sharp turns, I would suppose.
Okay.
And you gotta figure out which button activates it, which might be triangle.
Well, I know what I set it to. Yeah.
Alright.
So I dig the music in this game. I don't dig the sound effects.
Yeah, I think there might be options for turning down the sound. Make it a little lower in the mix, as you would want it to be.
Yeah, you're playing real like fast and loose with your car because you've got half a car left.
All I care about
Most
is
of your
winning.
clothes are missing.
Yeah, every time you even like bump into the sides, I don't like this. This health shit is useless. I don't think it adds anything to kart games.
Again, I'm curious if... Whoa, I'm getting fucked up there. I'm curious if this is only in season mode and if arcade mode doesn't have this. Because it is... I was trying to say earlier, it is weird for a game like this to have, like, health and fuel and oil as considerations.
We'll see if we can back out and figure it out. Race over. I beat you, and that's all that matters. To me, anyway.
All right.
Yeah, you can imagine, like, you know, the thing that we're not talking about here is that, you know, to get this stuff to work, if you didn't just have, like, controllers, if you didn't have, like, a dual joystick setup, which not a lot of people did, you'd be huddled around the same keyboard as one another back in the day.
Pushing and shoving. And...
Exits. Exits. I want to exit. Go back to the menu to see if we can select that arcade mode. I said end race instead of quit. Those shouldn't both be options.
Wait, what if you get into first place and then just end every race? Because it didn't seem to update.
No, you wouldn't be getting the points for the race at that point.
It didn't look like anyone was getting points for the race.
That's because I was zooming through the menus.
Okay. What's going on with that? Okay.
Player 1 versus Player 2 cannot do arcade mode.
All right, for my own edification, go to arcade and just jump in real quick. Just to see if you still have those things.
Let's find out.
Okay, it's still...
Well, let's see if I bump it, if it does anything.
Okay. Yeah, it's still doing stuff.
Yeah. Different track, though. Or no, this is the first track we played. Yeah, no, I don't get it then.
Yeah, and fuel is still a thing. So yeah, I don't understand.
I'm sure the instruction manual would spell this stuff out, but not about reading instruction manuals here. What do you take us for? Experts or something?
I think that'll do it for SuperKarts, right?
I think it will. I think that will do it for SuperKarts. I'm just going to disqualify myself from this race. Totally fine. You could master this. You could learn this. It controls well enough that you could probably get something out of it. But we still have 2 more games to get to tonight. So let's get to them, why don't we? The next one, and I do want to take a look at this just to see if there's anything different. This might be a very quick look we take at Sonic Drift 2. This one came out in Europe, unlike the first game in the series. But I think I just have the Japanese ROM here anyway. But let's get to it. And should we just jump right into multiplayer in it? Or should I...
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, just save ourselves a little bit of time. That unfortunately means I need to deal with that same fucking program again, but...
Yep.
The things I do for this show. The indignities I suffer.
Slings and arrows of being a Twitch streamer. You press start first.
Yes, I intend to. Or I'm using the keyboard for this.
Actually, I could press start, but you need to plug versus.
Well, we got Knuckles, so that's a good...
Dude, we have a lot more characters.
Let me see options. Yep. Oh! Did that somehow disable the versus mode?
Yes.
Weird. I guess we'll just restart it then. I guess we'll just reset it and... Video Game King says, Knuckles chuckled. Bottom of the list.
Alright.
Let's see the driver select. Alright, Sonic, Tails, Amy, Eggman, Metal Sonic, Fang the Viper, and Knuckles. Or Nucleus, as it's spelled here. They forgot the K, you see. I'll give Amy a spin.
Alright. I always thought Knack the Weasel was super cool. I know some people call him Fang the Sniper, and it's okay to be wrong. But to me, he is Knack the Weasel.
Looking at our courses. We got 6 of them here. Do you want to do Emerald Hill? Or do we want to go right to Death Egg?
I was gonna think maybe Casino.
Yeah. I'm for it.
Besto!
That's immediately more intuitive than in the previous Sonic Drift. We're the only 2 on the track.
Yep. Somehow I spun out from that interaction.
See, plenty of springs, plenty of rings.
Oh yeah, there's actual stuff on the map in the single player this time. There's multiplayer this time. Also, I got...
Sorry, I pressed start to see if it would do anything.
Nope. Up on the D-pad will activate your item.
Thank you, that's what I was trying to figure out. I threw a heart. I wonder if it's an Amy exclusive.
Okay, that's bad. Don't hit those things.
Don't hit the ramps.
Not the ramps. The things that look like springs are like punching bags or something.
I see. Oh, they're bumpers. Casino night.
Yeah. This one I got that ring. Oh wait, no wait. I can't hear my screen. That's right. I ran to the heart you dropped.
This is very similar to Sonic Drift, but better in its multiplayer.
Yeah, there's more stuff in it.
I'd be willing to play a second track in this. Perfectly acceptable multiplayer link cable game for the Game Gear.
Ah, close. Let's pick a different course.
No, absolutely.
No, your pick this time.
Emerald Hill 1, Dark Valley 2, Hilltop 1. Were they...
No idea.
I don't get the name
maybe
of the
maybe there's only like some of these are available in multiplayer.
Maybe.
Some
in
of
that
them are
case,
single player only.
Let's do Death Egg. Huh. I see what I did wrong. I pressed the wrong button. Instead of pressing the select button, the button to select the track. No way of backing out. I love it. Reset game.
All right.
Tim Rod in chat says, I bet the batteries on the actual Game Gear lasted just long enough to do one track before dying. That's a slight exaggeration.
I had the AC adapter for the Game Gear. Like, don't play about it.
Might as well play Knuckles.
I mean, I'm sick of Knack.
Alright, that's fair.
Like, how often do I get a chance to play as Knack in a video game? It's this and, like, Sonic the Fighter.
Still want my Death Egg.
Alright, you ready? Casino night, let's go.
One's for all the marbles.
I will say that this track layout Looks bad. Just constant turns.
Keeps you on your toes.
Keeps you from going at speed. I do notice that each stage has unique hazards now. Also has hazards, period. Oh, this track sucks.
I had a hunch when I picked it, but I picked it anyway, because I'm that kind of sicko.
Cool, I did that to myself.
You can flashbang yourself in this game.
Yeah.
I think I might be about to lap you. No, what's Sonic? What's Sonic doing on the track? He's not a...
That's Sonic or Metal Sonic?
Either way, he shouldn't
Metal...
fucking be here, because it's supposed to be a two-player race. It's supposed to be head-to-head, if you will.
It's my game, yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? I thought we reserved the track. I thought we bought time just for ourselves here, but... The damn Sonic.
It's Sonic's game. He can show up whenever the fuck he wants. Like Urkel in Family Matters. Well, that was Sonic Drift 2.
Yeah, no,
that game's better. That map sucked.
They can't all be winners. Not all the tracks can be winners.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God we're finally done with Retro Copy for tonight. Which means we're getting to our last game of the night tonight. The last game of this era of Kart Racer before we get into the Mario Kart 64 era. And there's a little bit of history attached to this one as well, so govern yourselves accordingly, folks. This is Atari Karts. Developed by Miracle Designs, published by Atari, funny that, for the Atari Jaguar in December of 1995. As the story goes, Atari Karts was developed by the Belgian group Miracle Designs. The team were inspired to get into game development after visiting the studios of Visual Impact, the studio who were then working on Hyperforce for the Atari Jaguar, which, funny enough, is a game that would not be released during the lifespan of the Jaguar, would only release in the year 2000, published by Songbird Productions, who took it upon themselves. They're kind of like a Telegames, where they found games for like discontinued consoles, games that didn't have the chance to come out, and then put them out as sort of like limited releases through the 90s into the 2000s. So you can, in fact, play Hyperforce if you so chose to. Anyway, as far as Miracle Designs, they saw Hyperforce in development. They thought, oh, this seems neat. We should get into the business of making games. They marched into the Atari booth at the European Computer Trade Show, either circa 1992 or 93. They applied on the spot to be developers, and they were granted a Jaguar development kit. And so they founded the company at that moment. The developers Philip Hautekiet and Peter Vermeulen began working with the kit, creating a demo showing an emulated interpretation of the Mode 7 graphics mode found on the SNES. To test the Jaguar's capabilities, they sent that prototype to Atari producers Bill Raybach and Jay Patton. They found themselves impressed with the demo, so they decided to make a title. They decided to bring on Miracle to create a title that combined F-Zero and Super Mario Kart with a cutesy atmosphere, becoming the starting point for the game's production. Some point during development, that Atari producer Bill Raybach suggested the usage of Bentley Bear as a character in the game, the main protagonist of 1983's Crystal Castles, along with other Atari characters that did not make it into the final release. I don't have a list of those characters, but they may or may not be mentioned on this podcast I didn't listen to, the 139th episode of the Retro Hour podcast, in which they interview Bill Raybach, so I'm posting a link to that there. Someone could tell me if they mention characters who did not make the final cut.
Yar of Yar's Revenge.
The game...
Hero from Adventure.
The game does feature homages to Atari's history in games, beyond just Bentley Bear. For example, there's the Borregas Cup, which is a reference to the company's former address, 1196 Borregas Avenue, Sunnyvale, California, while the Tempest Cup is named after Dave Thurier's Tempest, released in 1981. The game was formally announced in early 1995 under the working titles Karts and SuperKarts. It was also previewed under the name SuperKarts, which led to confusion when the 1995 issue by Edge Magazine could not get a single word out there to save my life. All right, so this is Edge Magazine, right? They put out an issue in 1995. They say that SuperKarts is coming to the Atari Jaguar. They think that means the game we just finished playing, that SuperKarts game that we played on DOS. They thought that because the name was so generic, they thought it was that game coming to the Atari Jaguar. It was not. It was Atari Karts in development. So they had to change the name at a certain point to not conflict with that. And a note on the reception of this game after its release. It received mixed reception because every reviewer compared it to Super Mario Kart. Because why wouldn't you? Because that's obviously what they were trying to ape. By measure of Jan Schwentz, or Schwenitz, a German surname, who was a reviewer for the German Video Games magazine. This is a review from their 52nd issue, published March 1996. Even if the vehicle feel of Atari Karts isn't nearly as good as that of Mario Karts, so much good stuff has been stolen from Nintendo's classic that even Atari racing is still really fun. Final score in that review, for point of reference, a 72%. So even being a ripoff, as long as what you're ripping off is a solid foundation, reviewers at the time said, well, it's blatant, but, it's still a good game they're stealing from. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So, and that's the information I have on this one. This is going to require just a small bit of binding. It requires 2 of the numpad keys, so we'll have to bind those. But I have them listed here, what the controls all map to. So once we get this launched, we're just going to briefly sojourn into the menu to make sure that we're...
I see you.
I believe that's Bentley.
Thank you for buying the Atari Jaguar. The ritual is complete.
I'm adjusting the volume. I'm dialing it in on the screen. That should be good. Taste of what we're in store for. All right.
Ominous music.
You don't say. Set bindings. We need A, B, and C. So that's cross.
Is this for you?
This is for me first. I'm just refreshing myself. I'm familiarizing myself. Yeah, that all parses. Now I need 4 and 5. Or no, 4 and 6, which are L and R by default, which is perfect. Because those are going to be our sharp turn buttons. Now let's make sure you're set up proper. Device type standard, set bindings.
Okay, so C is...
Yeah.
Enable bonuses. This is fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
B, which is break, that's fine. Fine. And then as long as 4 is that, yeah, that's all fine.
Okay, cool. I like it when things just work. Rarely happens on this show, but... Select a challenge.
I thought that said beginner, warrior, murder.
I guess we're choosing beginner because they didn't let me select any other options. You might have to unlock all the game modes and stuff. We're just right into it.
Regis, Skelly, Polpito,
Ms.
Trez, Bentley Bear, Volky,
Ptarmigan.
Ptarmigan.
I'm going to be Ms. Trez.
Of course you are.
Am I that predictable? I mean, yeah, I know the answer is yes, but...
I'll be your worst nightmare.
Oh, now I have control over this.
What does this even... Borg,
that's the address of the building,
right.
The Carlton Cup, and then the Tempest Cup. Let's go Borgus. Let's start with the first one you would see. We're just jumping right into multiplayer in this one, huh?
Yeah.
Might as well. Hey, what do you know? It's one of these.
Whoa! How did I do that? Oh, how did I do this?
Oh, cool stuff's happening.
What? Okay, if you hold sharp turn, for any amount of time. Like,
oh,
in
you
general.
spin out. Yeah, you have to tap it,
spin out.
basically. You have to use it very tactically.
Yeah, that's not the Mario Kart way of things. Oh, jeez, I wasn't even... I just tapped it that time, and I kept turning.
It's very
they fucked
situational,
up.
the Sharps.
They fucked up how that works. They fucked up drifting real bad.
Wait,
I want to see something. I'm not even going to... Yeah, if you just hold, like, left into a turn or right for too long, not even like the sharp turn thing, you just spin out. You're not allowed to turn too much.
I guess they're trying to do like an acceleration thing, not in terms of like vehicle acceleration, but you know, like joystick acceleration or wheel acceleration, where the longer you hold it, the more the wheel turns until you max out. So if you're doing like a full left,
when I have to take a turn like that, like it doesn't make sense that like I have to stop doing it because I'll spin out. Oh, this one's gonna. Cass, this was gonna rank real fucking low for me. This is just the way the act of turning in general works is like...
I wasn't struggling with it nearly as much. I don't think it's great, obviously, the turning, but I intuited it relatively quickly, I guess.
No, I figured it out now, but it is unconscionable.
The soundtrack to this game is so curious.
You feel like a hero.
Player 1. Oh, Ice Track. Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, cool.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I wasn't spinning out enough.
Alright.
Oh, the spinning wheel, the steering wheel thing, I'm stuck.
You're done?
Stuck. No, I'm done because I can't move.
Oh yeah, you're just stuck at the start. That's gonna be a problem. Because you still gotta finish the race.
So, that's this steering wheel thing? Okay, well, no, fucking Video Game King, you're wrong. You said that's to prevent you from, spinning out? It doesn't. Oh, no, that's a tire. Okay.
Oh my god, I got stuck on the same fucking thing. Why is that
Yeah,
so
freed
close?
you.
Why is that in the middle of the fucking track?
Go without me. I freed. Oh no.
Ugh.
Cass, I think I like Skunny Kart better.
That's...
I think I hate this a lot.
I'm definitely beginning to hate this. Specifically this track, but I guess that, you know, is a condemnation of the game itself. Ugh.
Yes, I think I like Skunny Kart better than this.
How do I circumnavigate this shit?
Goodbye. I'll never forget you.
Ugh.
How am I still behind you?
Because I lapped you at some point.
You lapped me, yeah. Oh, nope. That's the end of me.
You might be right. This is bad. One more track.
Wow. Wow.
Don't even get a fucking choice. Is there any way to to select a track? Is there any way? Does it just kick you in directly into?
No.
Press options for game options. Mode, kill.
Hill.
Oh, hill.
Okay.
Hill and flat.
We were on hill.
We can enter our names. I guess we'll do
No, thank
flat
you.
then.
But it was flat, wasn't it?
I can't select any of these other ones. You have to unlock.
Okay.
I'll suffer this alone. You don't have to.
All right.
I just want to see some stuff.
Can you not select these?
I can select. I can let me select the
Okay.
cups. It's just difficult.
All
I
right.
can't. Wow, wasted no
Is this the
time.
same?
Yeah. Let's see how it looks in with one player though. Let's see if I have the full screen at my disposal. Well, you can tell that's still like split in half. You can see like the horizon line where
Yes.
the
So that gives you better, what is it? Traction off-road.
so you can maybe like cut corners a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Do you notice any appreciable difference between this and when you had it set to hill?
None whatsoever. Maybe it's like supposed to be like a camera
Boy.
angle. Maybe like Hill would show you more of what's ahead. I don't know. I'm talking up my ass here because I can't tell any
Yeah.
fucking meaningful difference between these. I'm in first though.
You are. Yeah, I don't think we've seen... maybe this is a different thing than the last one, despite it being ice, because I haven't seen the fucking...
Same tile set, different.
Yeah. I haven't seen, like, the death trap.
That death trap is unconscionable.
Okay, there are some... According to Viking King, there are some tracks that have hills on them. And being on hill mode makes that happen.
Why would you have an option to turn it on or off then? Why not just have those tracks live as their own tracks with their own unique gimmick? Unless it's like particularly sickening to look at or something. You know, maybe it's like, you know...
Yeah. Listen, we know we put this in here, and we know it's bad, so you can turn it off.
We made a mistake putting this in here. You're making a mistake playing this. We're both guilty parties here. Ah, here it is, the Crystal Castle.
I don't think I've ever played Crystal Castle.
It's...
It's
Nah.
a classic, I know, but I've never played it.
Ah!
Mmm.
Cornering is a problem. Ugh. Yeah, you really just have to hold back when you get stuck on something. You just have to hold backwards, reverse out of it, and
We have to find the answer by
Say
ourselves.
something nice.
you can go to hell, soul stuff.
You know, I mean, ignoring the fact that it doesn't fit, the music is nice. Like, someone
Yeah.
called it, like, demo scene music. Yeah.
Okay, I do have one nice thing. I think the scaling algorithm being used here is nicer, smoother, higher resolution than other ones we've seen tonight.
Oh,
like, you know, look,
for sure.
It's applying some sort of filtering that makes it look smooth so that you don't get as much of, like, the effect of... I mean, I'm still getting a little bit, like, you know, the higher up the track, but if you're just focused on your carts, on that sector of the screen, it looks, like, mostly clean around your racer.
It's definitely, like, way smoother than Mario Kart was, while completely aping the style of Mario Kart.
Yes. I don't want to play any more of this.
You can stop.
But I'm on
We can get to...
lap 4 or 5.
In 7th place, I don't think much
Yeah,
is gonna
good point.
change.
Yeah, that's going to do it for Atari Karts. Hey, boy.
I didn't expect the night to end like this.
Well, we should have expected much. It was a Jaguar game. You know, we should have known. Well, then. I guess it only leaves us one thing left to do tonight. And that's to start putting these on a list. A ranked list. I have Super Mario Kart on here for starters. It's at number 1. It's the best race. It's the best kart racer of all time, by measure of this comprehensive list here. Okay, we're gonna go through this list. I'm gonna name the games. We're gonna decide whether they qualify or not. Power
Okay.
Drift
Doesn't qualify.
doesn't qualify. Go-Kart Simulator.
Doesn't qualify.
If it did, though, it would be the very bottom. Super Mario Kart, obviously, is where it is. So, Skunny Kart. Above or below
okay.
Super Mario Kart?
I'm gonna go with below. Also, Video Game King asks, wherever heard this song before. It's from Kokoron. You may have also heard it from Eversion.
Skunny Kart was for DOS. And I'm just going to put the developer name here, which is Copysoft. Lucas was also the publisher, so that's... All right, Skunny Kart, our new number 2, but for how long? Wacky Wheels. I think that goes right above Skunny Kart, right below Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Isn't it easy when we're just starting a list and we don't have to think about it?
Yes.
And who did Wacky Wheels again? Beavis Soft on behalf of Apogee. Beavis Soft Apogee. Okay, that means that next on the list is Sonic Drift.
Above Wacky Wheels.
Above Wacky Wheels?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair for it being handheld, giving you something you could take with you on the go. I can appreciate it on those merits. In Wacky Wheels, I don't think Wacky Wheels was terrible. I think we got fucked with the multiplayer on it just because of weird binding issues, but I think it was a competent enough one of those for DOS.
Right. Like, really early on right now, like, this is a list that makes sense. So we'll see how it continues to play out.
Yeah, so next...
I don't think Wacky Wheels is always going to be right above Skunny Kart.
Next on the list is BC Racers, the 32X version specifically, because we couldn't evaluate the Sega CD version.
Speaking of, I would put it below Wacky Wheels and above Skunny Kart.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think it is slightly better than Skunny Kart, but not much. That was by Core Design. Who published that one again? It says Front Street Publishing here, but I thought it was Virgin. Oh, I should probably spell it. Street. Core Design. Why is that italicized? Why is it a different font size? What did I do? Sorry, that stuff bugs me if I fuck it up. Okay, there we go. And it's not for DOS either. It's for 32X. Okay, BC Racers ranked. SuperKarts.
It was visually impressive, but I think it was too complicated for its own good. I would honestly put that below BC Racers.
I would put it one above BC Racers. I think it had, like, simulation elements. So I think, like, you know, the progression, the customizing your cart, we didn't get to fully explore it, but, you know, maybe as you get to fine-tune your cart, it...
I'm honestly viewing this from the perspective of it being part of this kart racer, like, thing. Like, and maybe that's not a fair merit to judge it on, but I think it counts as a kart racer with the power-ups.
It does. It counts more than BC Racers does. Remember, BC Racers didn't have items. It just had the attacks. Does BC Racers even qualify for the list?
I would qualify it. I would say yes.
Okay, that's fair.
I think the attacks are enough.
In that case, I'm going with me on this one.
All right.
I'm going with SuperKarts, which is by Manic Media. And who did the service of publishing that? Virgin. That's the Virgin Interactive game. And that was for DOS. Next on the list, Sonic Drift 2. Above Sonic
right
Drift
above
1.
Sonic Drift.
Yeah, that's in, again.
It's just a better version of that game.
Easy peasy. Okay.
Speaking of easy.
I'm not so sure. Atari Karts.
I'm dead set. Bottom. The worst. I would rather play Skunny Kart.
I don't know if I can. It's either new number 7 or below Skunny Kart. Obviously, I'm not going any higher. It's race to the bottom for this one for sure.
It's below Skunny Kart. Like, Skunny Kart was frustrating but funny at the same time. It was so, like, chaotic.
It's also stolen, so morally,
yes. We'll ignore that part.
Okay.
Like, if we were judging these on morals, it would be a different list.
Okay, fair points. Make a case.
Skunny Kart was like impossible to comprehend, especially when you got it up to like 100%. But like, it was interesting. It was like, it was funny in the way that it was broken, right? Atari Karts, just the control, like the spin out thing was atrocious. The way that you just got stuck in these like things in the middle of the road that like took so fucking long to get out of, that you could get stuck in other racers like I did. Like right at the start, I was just in someone else and could not go anymore. And it's just so much more dry than Skunny Kart was. Like Skunny Kart, yeah, it's frustrating, but it's interesting and it's funny. Like,
you know what?
Atari Kart was really weirdly like barren and
Skunny Kart had
foreboding.
modes of gameplay in it.
Yeah, it had battle mode. It had racing.
That's two. That's one more than Atari
Yeah.
Karts had. So.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with this, but I think I've been swayed. I think you're right. I think Atari Karts is the bottom. I think Skunny Kart wins.
I'm just like so surprised. Like when I got the Skunny Kart, for the rest of the night, I was thinking like, well, I mean, it's gonna be easy to say like what the bottom is, but Atari Karts is just. I think about it as like I would rather play Skunny Kart than any more of Atari Karts.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't call Skunny Kart Sisyphean.
That's hardly a word you want to use to describe your games.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're correct. I think I'm looking at this list. Like, the only thing I'm like, even slightly like thinking about now is like maybe SuperKarts one up above Wacky Wheels, or maybe Wacky Wheels better than Sonic Drift, but not as good as Sonic Drift. But these are all like like matter of one position. I'm not gonna get that anal about it. I think this is the list as it stands for this first generation of kart racer games. So from top to bottom, we have Super Mario Kart, Sonic Drift 2, Sonic Drift, Wacky Wheels, SuperKarts, BC Racers, Skunny Kart, and at the very bottom, number 8, Atari Karts. More games will be added as we return to this series and experience whole new generations of kart racing games. But that is for another night. For tonight, that's gonna do it for this first installment of Kursed Kart Racers. Why are we off-center?
I don't know.
Sorry, little things like that.
I forgot to mention that I wanted to mention this up there, by the way, on this end screen, like the whole like illegal Mario Kart scene
in Japan.
from
Yeah,
years
this shit
back.
sucks. I'm putting this image here ironically. If you participate in the Japanese Mario Kart races, you're a bad person. That is by testament of every Japanese citizen and Americans who produce content in Japan or any other like English-speaking channels. It's like don't go play the Mario Kart real life in Japan. Just don't.
Got shut down, didn't it?
Multiple times. Multiple companies have tried to do it. It ruins traffic. It causes property damage. It is just a bad scene all around. But that's a topic for another night as we review real-life kart racing, I guess.
If you want to do real-life kart racing stuff, go play it in Like a Dragon Yakuza, or Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yes.
It's cool there.
But that was the first episode of our Kursed Kart Racers series, or what was the name of the series? Is this Kursed Kart Racers? Okay,
Yes.
very good. Yeah, we'll return to this one. This will be a long-term program. We still have Misadventures in Microcomputing in development, but I was just so inspired last night to put this all together that we just had to launch into it. And I think it's we got some good picks out of it. I think we got some interesting games on display tonight. So I'll be eager to return to this one. We'll space it out, though. Maybe another month before we return to the Kursed Kart Racers. It depends. But we hope you enjoyed it, folk at home. This coming Tuesday, we will be playing celebrating the anniversary of one of the most infamous kusoge ever released for the Famicom, for all time, really, across all consoles, one of the big ones. So please to look forward to that. Thursday, we will have a Patron poll results will be in. That is up now in the Patreon Saints channel on Discord for voting purposes. The games on that list, for a reminder, the theme is 3D action adventure games. So that list comprises of 5 choices, including Batman Dark Tomorrow, Hellboy Asylum Seeker, Highlander, The Last of the McClouds, Overblood, and Welcome House. Currently,
How much longer does that poll have?
5 days. It's going to end on Wednesday, so that we know by Thursday what we're playing, what we're going into, what we're getting ourselves into on that. And then next Saturday we'll have a theme night of some variety, of some sort, and that is the upcoming schedule. Speaking of that Patreon poll, folks, if you like what you saw here tonight, consider supporting us financially, if possible. You can do so by subscribing on Twitch, pledging on Patreon, or becoming a member on YouTube. Any of those will grant you access to that Patreon Saints channel on our Discord server, wherein you can vote in polls and make suggestions and things of that nature that help steer the direction of the show, much like a Go-Kart. Tenuous at best. Even if you are
Don't steer too far to the left or you'll fucking spin out.
Even if you don't financially support us, please consider joining the Discord anyway. Just hang out with us. Cool folk there, very active, very neat. And if you can't financially support us but want a different way to support the show, consider sharing the videos with folk you know. We have a playlist on YouTube. It's called Suggested Viewing. It has hand-picked episodes on it that we think make for good onboarding onto the program that is the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Or maybe, a dedicated kart racing fanatic in your life. Maybe, Anton Senya, I believe their name is, the professional kart racer. If you know them and can get this episode in their hands, get this in front of them, please do. Or otherwise, to share it with your friends. We leave it to your discretion, dear viewer. That will do it for the Bad Game Hall of Fame for tonight, for Kursed Kart Racers Episode 1. I have been your Speed Demon Cassidy.
I have been your reminder to go set up the raid, Sharky.
Fuck, I knew I was forgetting something. Who's on? Who's up and on right now? Rating the worst Genesis games. Metalhead Action 52, Normie's Beach Babe Orama. Being played by Smite right now. So they had me at rating the worst Genesis games.
Yeah, we love raiding around here.
So we will send folk on a raid to a rating stream. And please let them know we sent you, that the Bad Game Hall of Fame sent you, so on and so forth. We already said that I'm Cassidy.
Yeah, and Sharky.
And thank you, folk, for tuning in. Thank you for getting behind the wheel with us. Bad Game Hall of Fame will ride again. Bye!
Good night, everybody.